Welcome to another Ice Guys Stanley Cup Playoffs Betcast, live for Thursday, June 3rd. Ian Cameron with you. We're going to have Alex B. Smith joining me momentarily, and we're going to have several Ice Guys listeners, viewers, fans, you name it, joining the party in just a few minutes. We've got our beverage of choice, one of many to begin the evening. We're rocking and rolling. This is something I've been drinking a lot lately. Come on, Cameron, get some focus going on. Focus! I guess we're not going to get focus here. This camera's supposed to focus in on the writing, but it's coming in blurry there. But it's Molina. It's an India Pale Ale. It's no relation, as I said on Twitter the other night, to the Molina family of MLB catchers. It's got no relation to that whatsoever. So, but it's a great beer, great summer beer, and it's delicious, and definitely we'll be enjoying it here during the early part of the evening. There he is, Alex B. Smith with us. Alex,
hey.
Welcome.
Yeah, what's going on? I got the usual. I got the Cooks. I got the proper 12 rolling for my drink tonight. So just getting ready for the start of this Bruins Islanders Game 3 at Nassau Coliseum.
Exactly. I'm on the team total over, the full game over, as I mentioned earlier on the show. Let's get to the goal scorer props because this game's about to start. There are a bunch that I'm on here in terms of the the goal scorer props market here in this one. On both sides, because this is a game where I like the Bruins to win it. I think they'll get 3+ goals, but I'm going to put some Islanders in the goal scorer props tonight. I'm going to be looking at Anthony Beauvillier plus 230, and I also like him plus 110 to score a point. I have 2 Beauvillier bets tonight. Him to score at plus 230 and also score a point at plus 110 because he's gotten a point in 7 of 8 playoff games so far this season for the Islanders. I also like Brock Nelson for the Islanders plus 230, Josh Bailey plus 300 for the New York Islanders. And my last Islander goal scorer prop is Jean-Gabriel Pageau at plus 375. How can you not, when you consider, Alex, that in the last game, no Islander generated a greater goals expected number than Jean-Gabriel Pageau. He was all over the Boston net in Game 2, and I think at that price, that is a great value right there, plus 375.
Yeah, absolutely. And these top 6 forwards for the Isles, they're going to have to be the catalyst in order for them to get the win going. So any of that combination would be worth solid wagerings.
And for the Bruins, I've got definitely have a couple Bruins as well tonight. I went down deep to Charlie Coyle at plus 650. I mean, I don't usually go into the bargain bin that much, but I'm on him to score at plus 650. He got a goal during this series. I think there's some decent value there. I also am on Pasternak tonight at plus 130. I think it just feels like one of those games. I find he scores after they lose the previous game, Pasternak. So those are the two. Hall plus 160 as well. So those are the 3 Bruins here. Pasternak plus 130, Hall plus 160, and Charlie Coyle plus 650 is what I found with him at Bet365. Sort of swinging for the fences a little bit with that one. So those are the goal scorer props. Why don't I throw them out there while we're on the goal scorer prop, train of thought for the Tampa game as well. Tampa, Carolina. That's going to start in 30 minutes. In that game, I'm keeping it simple. I like Carolina in the first period and the full game because I don't think they're rolling over. It's just a question of can they finally convert their chances, which we all know has been a difficult thing for the Hurricanes in this series between the Islanders blocking a bunch of, Lightning blocking a bunch of shots, and obviously Vasilevsky being excellent in net. They just haven't found any ways to put the puck in the net. So tonight, here's what I'm looking at in that game. Sebastian Aho plus 170, Jordan Staal plus 300, Marty Necas plus 300, Svechnikov plus 300, and Teuvo Teravainen plus 350. I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it on those guys. If they are going to win and they are going to get some offense going tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, basically those are the guys that have to do it. And those are the guys that I expect to get it done for the Hurricanes if they're finally going to get this offense reignited. So I'm on Aho plus 170, Staal plus 300, Necas plus 300, Svechnikov plus 300, Teuvo Teravainen plus 350. For Tampa Bay, I do have a couple for them as well in this game. Dicey because we haven't seen a lot of goals in this series. You're saying, wow, you're betting 5, 6, 7 goal scorer props. Told you, I set aside money for this Betcast. I'm going to damn well spend it. Hopefully spend it wisely, not foolishly. We'll find out in 3 hours whether that's the case. But for Tampa Bay, In terms of goal scorer props, Anthony Cirelli had the most chances, expected goal margin, and Kucherov as well for Tampa Bay. So I'm on Kucherov. It feels like it's time for him to chip in offensively. So I like Kucherov plus 140. And Anthony Cirelli, who was one of the more, dominant lightning in terms of dangerous forwards in game 2 the other night, is plus 400 is what I was able to find with Anthony Cirelli of the Lightning. So those are the main two for Tampa Bay. And Palat. I like Andre Palat as well. Palat generated quite a bit. So we've got Kucherov plus 140, Andre Palat plus 230, Anthony Cirelli plus 400. Those are my 3 Tampa Bay goal scorer props. So there we go. We're just underway. Bruins and Islanders. We got all the goal scorer props in. So there we go. Hope you wrote them down somewhere. I know what they are, so I'll be sure to recap it as the night goes on. But we're off and running here in Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah, for everybody, I am on the first period over in this Boston Islanders game, so you can grab that number now. It was at plus 125 most of the day, so anything now would be good. But obviously, you can wait a few minutes and even get a better adjusted price.
Yeah, no doubt. Bruins have the puck right now in the Islanders zone. That not much comes of it. Islanders are able to clear. Back to and you can see the camera is shaking with how loud it is at Nassau Coliseum for this opening minute. They're always right into it from the opening faceoff, and you can tell it is going to be a very excited, jubilant, frenzied environment, especially in the first period. That's why it's important for the Bruins. Take the play to the Islanders, take the crowd out of it a little bit, and maybe try to get this first goal of the game, which is actually something they've been able to do in this series. And game 2, they did get the first goal very quickly, but the Islanders took control after that.
Yeah, I think it's like 6-2 mark. I have to look and see for the Islanders to score within the first 10 minutes of the last 8 games.
Yeah, no question about that. So we're locked in, got our goal scorer props ready to rock for tonight. Bruins and Islanders underway, Lightning and Hurricanes coming up. Bruins trying to get a little something going, but a shot taken by, it looks like Curtis Lazar, fourth liner for the Bruins, deflected out of play. We will be sending out the links, or I will be in just a minute or so, to all of our special guests tonight, the ones that will be joining us. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing that in just a second. But obviously, let's talk a little about, because this game's starting in about 20 minutes, the decision to start Peter Mrazek tonight. Very interesting one. Alex, for Rod Brind'Amour. And the way I see it is Alex Nedeljkovic has been great in these playoffs. I don't think you fault him much for the 2 losses, but here's the bottom line. Your offense is struggling. You're having trouble finding the back of the net. The Tampa defense has been good. Vasilevsky's been even better. You just have to have your goalie be letter perfect every game when your offense just isn't clicking. And that's the case, unfortunately, right now for Carolina. And unfortunately for Nedeljkovic, he's probably let in a goal that you could have said maybe he should have had in each of the 2 games. Game 1, the Barclay Goodrow goal should have been stopped. I thought it was a weak goal from Nedeljkovic. And in game 2, I thought the first Tampa goal, I don't think it was as egregious or as bad as or a goal to let in, but I thought it was still a goal he could have stopped. And when you're having trouble finding the back of the net, your goaltending's got to be almost spot on, almost perfect, and it hasn't been almost perfect these first 2 games for Nedeljkovic. So I think that's part of the reason to go to Mrazek. He's a veteran guy. I don't think it's going to bother him that he hasn't played in a while, and he's playing in game 3 of the playoffs on the road. I think he'll be fine in that regard. I think it's just done for, trying to get that extra save or 2 that maybe Nedeljkovic didn't deliver for you in the first 2 games, and more than anything, spark the team, light a fire, and hope that generates some success and some production essentially at the other end. What did you think of Rod Brind'Amour saying, let's go to Mrazek tonight?
Yeah, I figured it was more of a momentum shift, just like you see a goalie getting switched out in a game. I think that was like the case. Like I said, Nedeljkovic's played very well. I mean, he's a Calder finalist. They just announced that earlier today. But the fact of the matter is, having a rookie in this kind of high pressure situation, especially against the defending Stanley Cup champion, backs against the wall, you want to turn to a veteran to try and shake things up. So I don't think it's not so much a knock on Nedeljkovic in his play as it is just Brind'Amour trying to make a change with his team and just change the flow and momentum of this series.
I mean, this is, again, and Delkovich has had a great season, really good first round, in my opinion, against Nashville. But has he slipped ever so slightly in this series? I think you could say he has, but it hasn't been by much. It's just more, let's light a spark on this team. Let's see if we can get them going, and let's see if we can generate some kind of a turnaround in this series. And essentially, Alex, a game they've got to have tonight. They absolutely must win this game tonight. It really is that simple.
Yep.
And we'll see if they are able to get the job done here tonight as they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. They can't go down 3-0 in this series. Lots of hitting early in the first 3-4 minutes of this Bruins and Islanders game, especially the Islanders, which is really not all that much of a surprise. Very often you see teams trying to dictate that physical tempo and that physical presence early on. And you're seeing that from the Islanders, especially on home ice coming off the win. We'll have to see if it leads to some penalties or if they're going to let this go. What are the refs going to do here? Early on, it's looking like they're going to let them play a little bit. And that is usually a good sign because even strength, you don't want to see a penalty parade. Unfortunately, that's kind of what we got with the Montreal-Winnipeg game last night. We even got it with Vegas-Colorado a bit too much. I thought there was way too many penalties in both of those games. You got to let the game breathe. If you're a referee in the playoffs every now and then, let the game flow. Let them play a little bit. You can't be blowing a whistle and putting someone in the box every 3 minutes. So this is promising that there's been some big hits delivered here, first 3-4 minutes, and they've let it all go. A good sign early on.
Yeah. And the fact that we're still seeing a good flow of skating from both teams too, even with the physicality, that's a good sign. And now we're seeing this first period over numbers around plus 175, plus 180. Both teams are buzzing right now, so might be a good time to lock in at least some sort of a maybe a quarter unit or a half unit on that play right now.
All right, I am sending out the links as we speak to the people that have DM'd and requested an opportunity to join us on the stream. So you should be seeing a few of our special guests momentarily here on the Betcast. Excited to have a few of our good friends. I'm trying to keep it secret. We're trying to surprise people here in terms of who's actually going to be joining us here tonight on the Betcast. But definitely looking forward to the games as they are approaching right now. This one starting up, Bruins just threw a shot toward the net. Varlamov through traffic was able to see it. The Bruins actually, so far so good. They have avoided that hornet's nest, which you often see from a home team going home, especially, in a loud building like that. And they have really avoided that in the first 5 minutes. They've really not let the Islander forecheck get going so far in this game here tonight. I like that Bruin jersey. That's definitely an older school Bruin jersey.
This is the reverse retro jersey that they had. So this is actually the first Bruin jersey. I'm getting another one next year because next year they're going to be doing Willie O'Ree's retirement ceremony. They postponed it from this year, so I'll be getting his throwback jersey sometime coming up in 2022.
Yeah, excellent. By the way, no news. Brian Watson, it's a good question. We're waiting on news about Mark Scheifele as well. Whether how many games he will be suspended. I think it's just a question of how many games. Nothing announced yet. There's a lot of people that seem to be thinking it'll be in the 2 to 3 range. I think that's pretty much what you're going to expect. It won't be any more than 5. That much we definitely know. So we will have to wait and see the exact number and what it is in terms of a suspension for him. He's going to get, like I said, he's going to get something. Just a question of how many games he does indeed receive. Islanders have the puck right now, looking to set something up. Well covered by the Bruins. Back out to that shot was deflected wide. A point shot didn't miss by much on the redirection there, but the Islanders had one of their better chances just now. Bruins tried to come back, didn't really develop much into it. Matthew Barzal, we're still waiting on him to get going. It's really amazing. The Islanders are where they are in the playoffs, already a round under their belt, and 1-1 series here with a great Bruin team, and they haven't scored.
Yep. That was a nice shot.
What a shot there that was. Looks
Craig
like it was
Smith.
bar down. Perfect shot. Craig Smith.
Yep.
Who has come to life for the Boston Bruins. It was really an uneven regular season for Craig Smith throughout the early part of the year. But boy, he's started to get, again, Barzal, man, turnover in the neutral zone. He's been doing this for a lot this season, and it burns him again. That's just that area of the ice is a quagmire. You've got to just be good and strong and sound with the puck in that area of the ice. And too many times he just hasn't. And look at it, turnover results directly in the transition goal for Craig Smith.
Yeah, and that was a great pass and shoot. We saw, I mean, in that sequence from both teams, we saw three instances of great passing, some clean passing leading to quality shot chances, and the one for Smith happened to go in, so it's 1-0 Bruins.
Okay, by the way, as we wait for our the first guests to arrive, Jarek, I'm not calling you Yarich anymore. I'm sorry. I didn't realize for all that time. It just seems like when I see it spelled that's how you pronounce it, but it's Jarek, which you told us when you were on the first Betcast with us that it's Jarek. I didn't realize this WM Rubel, who's been tweeting at me, or initially was tweeting at me. I kind of thought it was some kind of family member. I didn't realize it was your pops, but I didn't realize that he watched the show too. So shout out to Pops Rubel for tweeting at us and watching the show and being very proud of his boy for his NHL betting insight and acumen. He's apparently very proud of you, Jarek. So it's nice to have a father like that that's supportive.
That's awesome.
Loves his kid. That is trying to talk him up to everybody, and that's clearly what he's doing with you. Not that you don't deserve it, but it was pretty cool. Way to go, Jarek.
Yeah, that's not always the easiest. It took a while for my family to kind of get used to the fact that I bet on sports for a living. Even though they know I've loved sports my whole life, but they all love to see me doing radio and TV and stuff. So yeah, so Jarek, that's awesome to have the family support there.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, because I'll tell you that I don't know if I don't try to talk too much about how I got into the business in terms of how the family reacted to it, but I'll say this right now: my family panicked when I first said I was going to be split. Like, what the hell is that? Is that even a real job? I mean, is that even legal? I mean, that's kind of the shit that I had to answer when I first started out, like in 2009, 2010, some 10 or 11 years ago. We got a chance here for the Islanders to pop on a breakaway. By Rask, got the blocker, waffle boarded away, as Doc Emmerich would say.
It's funny. I got it a little bit easier because I transitioned into this industry out of the music industry. So, my parents still had the same worry, but for a different field. So I totally get where you're coming from there. Ian.
Well, I'm sure when you're, especially when you're a young kid starting out, like when I was starting, I was still, early to mid 20s at the time, still pretty young.
Same here.
And here all of a sudden, you go to school for one thing, which was software and computer design. And then all of a sudden you basically dump that and you're going to start sports betting and handicapping. First of all, I didn't chase after sports betting and handicapping. It chased after me. I got the offer. I didn't go after chasing a job in the business and chasing a job in the industry. It came to me. And I'm very fortunate to this day that was the case. But I was not, it's not like you sent out a resume for this kind of job. It's not doesn't way in this day. Be grateful to the great folks back in the day. It's not the same people that own the company anymore, but Sports Memo, back in 2012. And it was Aaron Renning and Ted Savransky, Teddy Covers.
Yep.
They are the two people I have to thank. They are the people that brought me in and gave me that first chance. And like I say, I didn't knock on doors. I didn't send out resumes. I didn't call anybody. I didn't email anybody. They came to me. And the fact that they did that not only is flattering because they thought enough of me to want to hire me and come to me without even me, approaching them at all. It meant a lot. And knowing that I had no experience, none, zero, and they still came and sought me out to join Sports Memo. Forever to this day, those two people are grateful for where I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they helped me out along the way as well. Of course, it was Matt Humans and Dave Koken. For me, I got on the Las Vegas sports line. They need somebody to talk hockey, and they found me on Twitter and had some help along the way with Kelly in Vegas as well, and the rest is history. And then I met you, and then we worked together at the old Sports Memo, and then things took off from there, and that's what led to the creation of the Ice Guys. So. Oh, Ian, you're muted.
Yeah, I was not doing anything today or back then like I'm doing today, in terms of content. I mean, content's just gone through the roof. The last year or so across the board. I mean, that's where the money is going to be, in the next 5 years. In a perfect world, I'm ditching the Ian Cameron capping, pick subscription side of my my business. I'd love to just say that's enough of that, in the next 3 to 5 years. And I expect I'll be doing that because the content opportunities there, they keep on arriving. It's good compensation. It keeps, the doors keep on opening. I think there's going to come a time when other than my own betting and my own wagering on a daily basis, all the other income that I make from sports betting is going to be through doing content. Not a lick of it is going to be through selling picks anymore. I'm hoping within 3 years even that I can be done with that for good. And we're getting to that point where we're closing in on that time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The way the industry has changed now, we're getting kind of recognized for our talents on a greater scale, where we don't really have to kind of go through the old school system anymore. Yeah, that'd be nice to just be able to have enough content to where we can just freely release all of our picks. In an open market fashion. So that would definitely be cool. And it's funny, Ian, I remember the old sports memo days where, we had to kind of pull teeth just to, have a once or twice a week, podcast. I remember those days with, where we would be, having to do a show and in the middle of the week. So to have this show in this format now with all of you guys has been, like I said, I couldn't have imagined this 9 or 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, there's no question. It's amazing to see how far things have gone. And look, all it took was a little bit of common sense. All it took was, just finally the dinosaur way of thinking going out the window and realizing that sports betting is a cash cow and a gold mine waiting to happen.
Yep.
And now
absolutely.
People are finally realizing that and getting away their stigma of, wait a minute, betting is sleazy. It's a sleazy word. It's an ugly word. It's a word we want no part of. Feels like you're a criminal when you put sports betting out there. And no, that's the way. And that's exactly why Canada this week, they're having the Bill C-218 bill being heard through. It's already been passed through House of Commons and the Senate. It's going to go through the bank and the trade commissions. They're going to remove the criminal code from sports bet. And once that's done, it'll be legal single game wagering here too. And it's likely going to get passed, and it's about damn time. So it's happening everywhere. This country, of course, state by state in the US. And that's why now everyone realizes, hey, this is legal now. We're not going to be, in big time trouble. We're not going to get in hot water. We're not going to get bad publicity anymore from mentioning and endorsing sports betting. So now we're all in. Now we want coverage. Now we want people to talk about the point spread, the money lines, the totals, all of this stuff. It's amazing how it just changes in the blink of an eye. All that had to happen was basically eradicate and extricate ourselves from this archaic, ridiculous rule and law before. PASPA in the States, obviously the criminal code in Canada one is going to get eliminated in the near future as well. It's all it took. And now look, the floodgates have opened.
Yep, absolutely. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Absolutely. Wonderful indeed. Islanders picked it up a little bit since getting the first goal scored on them. 1-0 Bruins, 9.5 minutes left here in the first period. So Islanders starting to take the play a little bit more now to the Boston Bruins, but definitely the Bruins getting on the board has taken some of the starch here out of this crowd a little bit. And yes, Jarek has the first period over in this game. So do you, Alex. So we need one more goal here in this one. Still lots of time, though. 9.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time. I
grabbed the plus 125 earlier today, but then it went up to 175. And I was grateful I got that because as soon as it passed over that 175 threshold, it went down to half goal minus 280. So then, of course, as mentioned now, with Boston scoring, it's back. You can find it around minus $1.20 for the over and a half. So we locked in a nice profitable shot if we get another goal here.
Yeah, I mean, I missed Dylan Turner's question. Yeah, about was betting legal in Canada when you started? No, not single game. And single game still isn't, but it's going to be within the next, I would say, few months for sure, because I think this is all getting past. It's going to get past, just a question of how long it's going to take. But yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Before, for all the years when I started, 2010, like Proline was legal. All the lottery and gaming corporation ways of betting on sports were legal, but they forced you to do props. They forced you to do parlays, and everything had to be a parlay. Whether it was Proline, whatever provincial lottery and gaming corporation you used for your betting through the convenience stores and all the little shops, it was basically parlays is what you had to bet. You could not bet a single game. And obviously that's just not the way you bet realistically if you want to actually do this seriously and long term.
Yeah, and it's fun. I'm surprised that wasn't adopted in more states here in the U.S. back in the day. I know Oregon and Delaware had a system like that well in the 70s and 80s for a moment. But I thought that would have been, that it just makes sense that would have kind of been a gateway for some of these other states to just try to dip their toe in the water. But I'm glad that it wasn't the case, that they were able to just go on and fully recognize the aspect of single game wagering, having sports books, having it available mobile and online. And we hope to see that increase. And we're getting to 30 states now in the U.S. Hopefully we can get to probably won't be all 50. I'm thinking Hawaii and Utah will never jump on board. Hell, if we can get 48 states in the next decade, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, I just added another prop in the Carolina-Tampa game. This game's starting in about 10 minutes from now. I think it is a value-laden prop for sure. You don't get shots on goal 1.5 to go over very often. You can get that with Cirelli for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Over 1.5 shots on goal at -140. And look, this is a guy that had some of the most dangerous chances for Tampa Bay in Game 2. And, he was very, very present. He made his presence felt, made his presence known in the offensive zone quite a bit in that Game 2 against Carolina. And all he needs is 2 shots on goal. 2, that's it. And you cash your ticket. And you know how easily you can get 2 shots. All it needs is you could just float a puck to the net, an easy shot. The goalie makes the easy save, and it's still going to register as a shot on goal. It doesn't take much to get 2 shots on goal. And this is some of the things you can look at. When you see the game, and that's the one thing about some of these advanced statistic NHL sites, you can actually see expected goal margins by player in each game. And you see Anthony Cirelli actually leading Tampa Bay in the last game. By the way, we have a penalty high sticking here to Brad Marchand. So Islanders they get a power play.
Zajac checking his lip to see if he's bleeding. That could be a 4-minute double minor if he is cut.
Yeah, he's checking. I think it's going to be 2. We'll have to wait and see. They didn't do the, they didn't escape. Did he escape by the ref to see if he was bleeding? We'll have to wait and see. Oh, they're zooming in on it now. He's checking. I don't see anything.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yep. Just 2-minute minor high sticky. But here's the Islanders' chance to get that crowd back into it.
Islanders to score next. Game. Islanders to score next -120. I'm going to have a small play on that.
Wow, they almost did right there. Swing and a miss in the slot area. What a chance that would have been. But cleared out of the zone, so Boston now, or Islanders, I should say, have to regroup. Their power play has been surprisingly solid here in the playoffs overall. Definitely a good sign. No blood. That's a good sign for sure for me. Well, for someone that hopes Boston, not wins this game, but because I actually passed on the money line, but I'm just hoping they get to 3 goals. So really, this is inconsequential to my bet, no doubt about that. And look who is ready to join us. It looks like, and make his Ice Guys debut. He is someone that watches our show, follows our show quite a bit. He was just in the chat now, and here he is with us on the Betcast for the first time. Chris Otto, who I have to give a million thanks because my days are busy enough as it is. Doing a million shows, capping games across 4 sports. I can't track these totals trends for all of these teams in the National Hockey League on a day in and day out basis, log them the way Chris does. And Chris does this every day. He posts them on Twitter, period by period, totals trends for all the 31 NHL teams. It's a great reference. And Chris, the work you do with that's incredible. Welcome into the Betcast, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it very much. What else are you going to do at midnight to 2 whenever the West Coast games are ending, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is. And it's a great reference because you can really catch on. And you can talk about this, obviously, a little bit right now, Chris. You'll bet, second period, third period totals based on current form of teams, like if they're trending over recently in the third or trending recently to the under in the second, whatever the case may be. I know you track and monitor the first 10 minutes of the game, whether teams score goals. I mean, you're on top of all kinds of different ways to monitor a team's, current form and their trends and their characteristics from totals perspectives.
Yeah, and I use it a lot too to bet in-game totals, the full game total. So you'll play a team that's used to normally going under in the first period, and then you can grab them live sometimes at the end of the first if there were no goals at like 3.5. And a lot of these teams that are quiet in the first period then go over in the second and third periods, and vice versa. You find a team that's hot in the first period, a lot of times they'll slow down in the later part of the game. That's Vegas right now in the playoffs. I think I got to pull it up here. Their third period unders for Vegas, I think they're like 7-2 to the under.
Boy, didn't we see that play out last night?
Right. It's actually 6-3 to the under in the third period. When you might say, well, that's not very good, but you're getting an awesome number. If you're betting under -1.5 in the third period, you're going to get a great plus price on that. So you're going to got to win a third of those to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the third period, we saw it certainly stay under last night with Colorado and Vegas, which was just incredible goaltending. Yeah, crossbar from Mike Riley, the defenseman for the Bruins just now, that close to 2-0 Boston. And trying to get this first period over in the win column here for Jarek and for Alex here. We're still waiting on it, and I believe there's about 6 minutes or so left here in the first period. So there's still time to get that job done. For sure. Sorelli, by the way, yes, over 1.5 shots. I mentioned it a second ago. Just added that and just locked it in. -150 for the Lightning and the Hurricanes game. Chris, we got to ask you, how did you end up falling in love with hockey, becoming a hockey fan, becoming a bettor, all that stuff?
Well, hockey, I mean, that's been I'm from Pittsburgh, so obviously grew up with the Pens, Mario, Yager. How could you not love those teams winning the Cups in 92? 91, 92. So obviously loved hockey all that time. I didn't get into the betting part of it until really the last 5-6 years when it became legal here in Pennsylvania. Before it was just going to Vegas and betting from time to time. There was no way to do it online other than offshore. But, the offshore opportunities weren't as good 5-6 years ago as they are now. But here with it in Pennsylvania, I primarily bet down at the Rivers in Pittsburgh here, and I have a couple other accounts, DraftKings, FanDuel, some different ones. But and then started following the guys on VSiN, Follow the Money. I'm sure you guys know Mitch and Paulie.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, probably about 3 years ago, there was some trends. I think, Alex, you might have even started that with those guys.
I did, yeah.
The Follow the Money 5. Mm-hmm. That kind of, and when you're betting these first period overs, that's a very exhilarating bet. You're into it hardcore, and it was every night. Those 5 or 6 teams were just cashing tickets left and right. And I bought in, I was all over it. And then I was like, okay, well, that was fun, but I was relying on other people to give me the info and having to tune in every day. So I was like, well, shit, I might as well just track it and get the data myself. So that's what I started doing a couple years ago.
And that's the thing. I tweeted that out at the beginning of the year. I said, you're doing the Lord's work, because there was no one tracking these things at all. That whole first period over thing, it started here on this program. There was that year before the Follow the Money 5. That postseason was when I started noticing these first period overs, and the number wasn't moving and budging at all. And then we get back into that regular season. It was Columbus first. Then the Hawks went on this massive run. Tampa Bay goes on a massive run. And then they caught wind of that. I actually texted Mitch Moss. I messaged him on Twitter. I said, hey, the Hawks were, on like a 12-0 run with this number. And this thing doesn't move. It's, the same 1.5. The juice maybe goes up to 130. Before you knew it, by the end of the year, you had, offshores were putting up twos. They were laying, you had to lay 180, 190, and they still were cashing with those high numbers.
Those first 2 months were incredible, because you're right. They were laying, it was -120 on Tampa, and they were like 18 in a row. And it was like, what are the bookmakers doing on this bet? Like, it was just free money that first year. So like, obviously things have changed since then, but those first couple of months were just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
What they were doing was not paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No question about that. Focusing too much on football and basketball like they always
exactly.
do.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it was. That November, December, going into the bowl season and the playoffs and so forth. And it was a quote from Patrick Kane when they were on the West Coast road trip. He says, we're not getting off to good starts. He says, we're finding ourselves behind right away and having to play catch up. And we've got to play twice as fast. As soon as I noticed that, I go back and look at their numbers. 1-1, 2-1, 2-0, 2-1. Oh, there's something to look at here. And I'm like, no one's talking about this at all. And so I started mentioning it every day on the show. And then, like I said, it just, caught on like wildfire.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And especially when you're a fan of that team and you follow that team and you read good quotes like that. I mean, that's going to be stuff that and hardly anybody else, especially in an odds making department, is going to pick that up. So as a result, you've got a distinct, specific advantage and edge and of information and things that are going on that they don't. And those are the best kind of opportunities to capitalize on.
Hey, if anybody missed this first period over, it's plus 205 now. We got, 5 minutes to go in the period. So if you were late to the party and one in, you got a good number out there.
That's a great number with 4 minutes left and both teams still buzzing. So that's definitely solid.
This has not been a low event period. It hasn't been. There's been some good chances. There's been some good pressure on both sides. Chris, he's in Pittsburgh, Dallin, just entering the chat. Chris Otto, yes, he's Pittsburgh area guy. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, the Penguins. What do you make of the Penguins? We got to ask you about the Penguins here this year. I mean, to me, and you, I don't know if you heard my little episode on Tristan Jarry there. I was pretty rough on the kid, but when you look back on that series, and we're going to have Melissa joining us shortly, and she's a Penguins fan. Yeah. I thought Tristan Jarry was not single-handed. I hate to say he's just singling out one person, but look, he had a big hand in why they lost that series. They had generated chances. They played the Islanders, I thought, toe-to-toe. They just didn't get enough saves.
I think part of it, too, is they need some help in front of them. You know, there's no doubt that the Penguins' blue line is it's to score. I mean, obviously, they play defense, but Letang and some of those guys, their objective is to try and score. And they pinch down maybe a bit too much, and they give up a lot of odd man breaks, and they just don't do a good job protecting the house in front of them. And they did when they won the Cup. I thought, when they won the Cup back in 18 or 17, I thought they did a better job playing defense. But yeah, it was tough to watch, especially after this is 3 years in a row now. And I've been messaging back and forth with Melissa, knowing she's a Pens fan, so we've been talking a little bit. But yeah, very frustrating couple of years here.
I just felt in so many of those games against the Islanders, they had the better of the play, or at least even. They had their chances, and you'd see Sorokin, who started most of that series, just play outstanding in net. And ironically, he's not even in net anymore for the Islanders here in this series. And the Islanders would just come back down the ice, one or two chances, and the puck is in the net against Tristan Jarry. It was that series over and over and over again. It was like watching the same movie every game. And it was definitely unfortunate if you're the Penguins, because I thought, in terms of what you got from your top guys and what you generated in terms of chances, you were good enough to win that series. But unfortunately, tells you how important it is to get goaltending to make the saves they should. And they didn't get it from Jarry in that series. Looks like we have a TV timeout here, still 1-0. Bruins leading the Islanders. We're winding down here, though, in this first period. So the time's a wasting for our first period over.
Yeah.
Plus 450 if you want to take a shot.
It's locked. Yep. It's locked on Bet Online right now. It went to 240, and then they were like, "We're done."
Yeah, I got plus 450 here.
Oh, nice.
And we're just underway, by the way, in the second of the two games tonight. Just dropped the puck, Carolina and Tampa Bay at Amalie Arena. Obviously, this is a huge game. Chris, did you get involved pregame on that Carolina game?
Yeah, Carolina, I'm on the first 10 no, and I'm on the first period under here. That Tampa's been on an under machine. They've been an under machine here the last 5 games. They've been dictating the pace, and they want the pace slow. So I'll go ahead and play the under.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde compared to Carolina in that first round series, that was absolutely great. With Nashville, was able to get those first period overs, but now they've kind of flip flopped, and they were more of an under team throughout the year anyway in the first period, so they're kind of regressing to the norm.
I don't know if you guys have seen. I've been doing the year to date breakdowns of the regular season.
Yeah,
they only went over in 2 games of the 8 that they played in the regular season. So these two teams this year have played unders in the first period.
Yeah.
Yep. And this shouldn't actually be surprising a lot of people if you buy into series history. The Lightning versus the Hurricanes this year, they played a lot of 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 hockey. They really did during the regular season. So it's not the greatest, and sometimes styles make fights. It's really that simple. Two teams meet up. It's either going to be a little bit more wide open. There's going to be more room to move out there. There's going to be more chances. And this season, when it's been the Lightning and the Hurricanes, it hasn't been that way. It's been tight checking. It's been great goaltending, good defense. And that's exactly the way this series has started in the first 2 games.
And 2 teams that respect each other's offensive talents. I think that's the biggest thing why we haven't seen that many score. They both know they can't afford to make any mistakes or turnovers because they're going to get burned going the other way.
you're not seeing any odd man breaks in these games.
No, exactly. And that's Carolina's been like that. Tampa can play that way, where they get back, they can pinch the defenseman and usually still get themselves back in good posture defensively in transition at the other end of the ice. And you could say the same thing about Carolina. That's usually what you're going to get from the very good teams. They just know how they are able to play and get back in good position at all times. We were running out of time here in this first period of the Bruins and the Islanders game. Time winding down. And bites the dust, unfortunately, the first period over. It's going to end 1-0 Bruins after one period of play. Total in that game right now is 4.5. Current total, right around even money, if you're interested. Second goal of the game, Bruins -120, Islanders +100. That is what we're looking at here right now. The second period total in this one looks like 1.5 is -125. So a 1.5 split, which is one of those Asian lines that I'm looking at the book that I'm using, which means half of your bets on over 1, the other half's on over 1.5. So that's an indication that they expect a pretty low scoring second period based on that. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Second periods have had some goals, especially the last game. We'll have to see if we get a second period that opens up a little.
Yeah, the first two games of the series both went over second period. There were 2 goals in the first game, 3 in the second. Now, these teams in the regular season, of the 8 games, they only went over 1 of them. So kind of a weird start to that series. I don't know if the change in venue is going to – I know you talk about that all the time, Ian. Change in venue sometimes changes the scoring. So there was high scoring the first 2 games.
Yes.
Now we're going to Nassau. Are we going to get a 2-0 game?
I will say this right now. I would not have bet the over in Bruins Islanders tonight if it was 5.5, but it gave me a 5 again. Yeah, and I'm like, I got to bet over at 5. I just have to. It's just a number that, especially with the way the first 2 games went. But usually you're right. I'll try to make a case for the opposite result happening in terms of a total if the first 2 games in a series in one building go the same way. And sometimes you'll get a reversal in that third game when they switch cities and switch venues. And maybe that's going to happen tonight. But again, the second period is going to dictate that, because you mentioned now in the second period in the regular season, it was low scoring, but both second periods have gone over the total with 3 and 2 goals. So I'm tempted by a second period over, especially this 1.5, where even if there's only 1 goal, you know what? I'm going to end up pushing half that bet, or getting a refund on half the bet, which I don't mind whatsoever.
Expected goals that first period was less than 1. It was 0.18 for Boston, 0.5 for New York. You're looking at Money Puck, but so
that's a good site. That's exactly good for period by period action. It's updated. That's actually a good way to check it out. And then sometimes, especially on a night like this where we're doing a Betcast, I'll use that site, which is updated, after every period. Expected goals, including with the players as well. And you'll use that for, in-game goal scorer props as well. I'm happy that Pajot, is once again active for the Islanders so far tonight. He was the most dangerous Islander in that first period, and I've got him plus 375 to score tonight. So we're hoping he pots one at some point. Not surprising. I mean, Pajot is criminally undervalued in his goal scorer prop price every game. I find it anyway.
Yeah, that's what makes you go crazy when there's 7 games tipping off at 7:30 and you're trying to track this stuff in game. Yeah. It's like got to have 8 computer screens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely during the regular season, and think about coming up next year. We're gonna have some Saturdays and some Thursdays with 16 games rolling, all 32 teams in action. So it's gonna be madness for sure.
It's painful trying to track, and then painful for your bankroll trying to bet all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to be ready to fire away. Let's put it that way. We're going to be dealing with that many games and that many teams in action. Yep.
And I don't like the live bet unless I'm physically watching the game, which that is difficult as well when there's that many games going on at once.
And I was going to ask you about that too, because I know you do a lot of the third period totals. Was kind of the biggest thing you were betting for a good chunk of the season. Would you go and bet more adjusted numbers, or would you just go on and just hammer it pregame, lay the juice? And because I mean the numbers were astonishing. We saw 70-80% clips for teams catching those third period overs. So even laying 180, 200 on a nightly basis wasn't an issue.
Yeah, so a lot of the times in that situation, I would take one unit and lay it pregame, and then I would come in live and add to it.
Right.
If it was a game I really felt was going to go over, then I would maybe add live. Or if it was a game that, a 5-0 game, I'm going to lay off just because there's not a lot of motivation. You're not going to get an empty netter. They're not going to pull the goalie. But if you got a tight game, then I'll go ahead and get back in.
Okay.
What are we now? 9-4 on elimination games, Ian?
Yeah, and the
Correct.
period over stuff.
Yep, yeah. Correct. 9-4 so far, and they've been good. They have, 1.5. Those are over 1.5.
1.5.
Be careful with,
right.
Be careful with the record, because some people will say 9-4 to the over, and yet they'll go into their book live in the second intermission, and they'll only see 2.5 available. Right. For the third period. If you're using that, don't use that 9-4 record based on over 2.5 in the third period, because it's based on over 1.5. So be careful with that if you're trying to bet this second intermission. It's why Alex and I sometimes say, if you can find that third period over pregame at a reasonable price, over 1.5, -1. I've seen it at -150 at 5 dimes. That's why I feel gut wrenched for the folks in the States that can't use 5 dimes anymore, because they've been offering it dirt cheap. I'm seeing -150 guys in elimination games for over 1.5 in the third period. That's cheap. That's a steal at that price.
Yeah, books caught on to that, I would say, about 2 postseasons ago, and I wrote an article about it last postseason regarding, how the trend of the third period overs in elimination games. And so the books have gotten sharp, and they've adjusted those live overs. No matter how, the pace of play has gone in the first 40 minutes, they're still going to attack that extra goal and a half. To avoid getting crushed from the live players and the people who are paying attention to this. I mean, like there are people who are only betting periods. I've talked to people. They said, I've only bet first periods. I only bet periods. They don't bet sides or totals for the full game. So this is like I said, this phenomenon has really grown into a thing of its own.
It's kind of morphed into the baseball too, with the first 5s, first 3s, first inning. It's the quick hit, you get the quick hit and you get out. You don't have to watch.
That's what sparked me too. The when Alabama went on that run that year before the follow the money trend and everything, Alabama went, I think, almost undefeated in the first half. And I always bet first halves in college football, especially early in the year against blowout teams or whatever, cupcake teams. And I kind of took that theory once I heard that quote from Patrick Kane and started tracking those teams. And I took that same theory of, these good teams with great offenses, and they get off to a hot start. They want to establish that presence the rest of the game. And like you said, not to mention, you go on and deal with that and don't have to worry about these 6.5s with these teams scoring, because obviously, you're going to get the 6s, the 6.5s. We saw 7s with totals at one point for the full games. And that was all reflective of what was happening in the first period.
I have people reaching out to me wanting me to track the baseball first inning over under. I need some time off between seasons here.
You'd have to hire an intern for that or something.
I know they're not paying me enough to track all this stuff. Come on, help me out here.
Yeah, I got a job. This isn't it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, SoCal. I meant to answer that question. Opinion on betting the Isles live +1.5 minus. I don't mind that price. I'm actually surprised that price is -120. I know the Bruins are up by 1, but I thought it would be a little bit like -140 or -150. I like that price a little bit here with that great save Mrazek just now, as Tampa Bay had a great chance on a mini odd man rush there. But yeah, I don't mind that. I think it's a 1-goal game, Islanders and Bruins. So I don't mind that bet. +1.5 goals, -127 is what you got. Not at all. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good price overall. Carolina. Wow, that was almost a pass that got right to where it needed to be. Brady Shea's played good on this blue line this season for the Carolina Hurricanes. They got him from the Rangers. It's been a pretty nice addition. Tampa Bay just doing a good job, though, in terms of getting bodies and getting shots just fronted and blocked before they even get to Vasilevsky. They're doing it again tonight. And I don't know what the adjustment is at this point if you're Carolina, but somehow, some way, you know what you got to do? You got to maybe not pound the puck when you shoot it. You got to take a little of that velocity off the shot, wrist it, just a little flick of the wrist toward the net. See if you can just get it through these sprawling bodies and legs that are trying to block these shots in front of Vasilevsky. That's pretty much what you got to do if you're going to try to get these pucks to the net, which they've had a difficult time doing for much of this series so far.
Yeah, and I mean, he's seeing the puck really well too. You can just tell, he's engaged, and I mean, he's one of the best. He's one of the best. There's no doubt. That Islanders, I was looking at the Islanders too. If you like betting totals, over 1.5 Islanders -121. So that's not a bad look if you think they can get get 2 goals. Again, I don't know. Maybe wait and see here in the second period. That probably will get the plus money in maybe the first 5 minutes. You might be able to grab that at +100.
Yeah, no question. Good save, Mrazek. Tampa Bay buzzing a little bit here. It's still a scoreless game, but they're getting a couple of chances, starting to cycle that puck, and you know what they can be when they start getting that going. Tampa Bay is right now in this shift here in the Carolina zone. Hedman, by the way, was robbed a minute or two ago by Mrazek. A great save there. Sergachev's shot blocked, and Carolina is going to survive there. I did lock in Islanders Bruins. Now I've got it at 365. The Asian line's not available anywhere, but I will say that I bet over 1.5 at -125 in the second period of this Bruins Islanders game. So again, the way that is if there's 1 goal, I get a refund on half the bet. Obviously, if we get 2 goals, the whole bet cashes. And obviously, if there's no goals, I lose everything with that bet. So
I think you get 1. I think you get 1 there for sure.
That's why I like it, Chris, because I think we can get 1 goal for sure. And as long as we get 1, we only lose half the bet. Of course, I'm betting it expecting 2. So that's absolutely what I'm expecting here. Chris, you're a Penguin fan. We're about to bring on another Penguin fan, very disappointed Penguins fan, very heartbroken Penguins fan, who felt just as angry and bitter as me about the problems with their goaltending in the first round against the New York Islanders. We welcome in one of our favorites. It's Melissa Cunningham into the Betcast.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Hey everyone, I'm sporting my Ice Kings gear too today.
Oh,
Nice.
Look at that.
Very nice.
It's like
Very
90
good.
degrees here, so I'm like, it's really comfortable too. I really like the gear. So
Wonderful.
Alex did a nice
That's great.
job with
That's
that.
great to hear. Yeah, you can get that tank top and T-shirts and hats at shop.spreadshirt.com/iceguys. We got all that on sale, and there'll be a coupon code coming up later next week. So,
Yeah, promo code time.
Wow.
Stay tuned.
yeah.
We're gonna get we're gonna get people involved with the shop. I've actually got to start picking up some stuff from that store.
Yeah.
I haven't even done that yet. So that's how it's just busy as like shit for the last several months, and we'll get some Ice Guys gear as well.
We're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to do the Ian 20 promo code, just like the Spit and Chicklets does the Biz 20. We'll do Ian 20.
Yeah, Ian 20, yeah. Because some people say I still look 20. I think that's.
Hey, I'll take that.
Yeah. No, it looks good. The gear is excellent. Like, and not just the gear; they got the mugs as well. They've got the dog scarf there. It's
Dog
excellent.
bandanas. Yep.
Yep. I mean, it's really good. So check out that store. We're gonna have some codes in the meantime. Melissa, you're like me the last couple days. It's been a tough couple days for me. I mean, I went all in on Carolina in game 2. I had Colorado team total and the full game over last night. It dies at 2-2 in the third period and stays under. I have Winnipeg thinking it's the mother of all great spots for them last night against Montreal. They can't get it done. It's just been a bad 2 days. I know you've had a tough 2 days, but it is what it is. They happen. All you got to do is push
Gambling
forward.
for you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And I'm
Yeah.
always one too. If I've learned anything, it's being open and honest. And when you're in a rut, I'm not one who's going to hide it and be like, oh, I live bet this on the side and didn't post this, so I'll hopefully snap out of it soon. Alex,
Yeah.
I'm ready for you to give me some live winners tonight.
Yeah, well, so far we got kind of crushed with the first period over in with the Bruins Isles, but hopefully we can get this Carolina. I got Carolina to score first. So if anyone hasn't jumped on that, by the way, you can get it +110. I had it +115 pregame. So But both these teams, I mean, playing, like I said, good defense, and they respect each other's offense. Like I said, that's the reason for the lack of scoring in this series. It's not so much that they're just all of a sudden, like I said, turned into the 96 Devils and started playing defense. These two teams know they can't make mistakes against one another.
Just cashed the first 10 on Carolina Tampa. So
Nice
there you
call
go.
on that.
there we go.
There you go, Chris. And you're on the first period under 1.5 in this game as well.
Yeah.
This is the series to bet unders right now because it's tougher tough as hell to get the goals in and get open space, open ice in this Tampa Carolina series right now.
Yeah.
It actually surprised me. I thought we were going to get some more goals in this series. I was on the over the first game and then actually flipped back to the under, but I thinking this will break eventually. I
thought this was going to be a series where we'd see scoring early and then teams make the adjustments and then taper off late. That's what I kind of figured from these two. Because now you kind of wonder it could be in reverse where these teams, if they get down, especially Carolina's in a fight or flight situation where they might start to really kind of just jump the gun, play more offensively, and they could put up 3 or 4 goals even if we could see 4 or 5 goals in a period if they're trailing. So something.
Yeah, we're to the point now here too where over a half goal is sitting at plus 108. So if you think we're going to get one here, you got 8 minutes left. You're over even money.
I actually see plus 120 at Bet Online right now. So
it's moving as we speak. So I like to do that. I like to do that sometimes if I'm on an under, a little bit of a hedge to get out.
Yeah, pretty much a middle. Exactly.
Middle it. Yeah.
Tampa just hit the side of the net, and it was one of those shots where half the crowd thinks the puck went in the net, and they all stand up. Yeah, but no, they realize, it hit the side of the net. That happened in Boston the other night, too. Game 2 of the Bruins and Islanders. Like, half the crowd's like, yeah! And they realize, well, shit, it hit the side of the net.
I tell you, that happens more with Minnesota, the XL Energy Center. That happens more often than in any rink I've watched or been in. I swear. It's like even something hits a post, and it's literally half the arena will jump up, and then all of a sudden sit right back down. So.
Yeah,
they get excited. Those are the Terry Edelmans of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the ones doing it. Yeah. I got to get. You know what? Let me just check on that. Someone's saying that Cirelli has 2 shots already. That could be the case because I've seen him have a couple of chances, which is good because I said over 1.5 shots on goal. Anthony Cirelli. That's why looking at the player charts after games is something I do now, especially if I know I'm going to be betting props like shots on goal, goal score props. I want to be betting players that are at least generating chances, generating offense. Oh, hi there. We got a visitor behind Chris here. Yeah.
Yeah, the fam came in from outside. I think they were playing softball. So
there we go. There we go. You're already a better athlete than me, so keep it up. You're doing something right. You already got me beat. Right.
Are you guys on the Bruins or the Isles tonight? I missed the beginning of the show.
I'm on Bruins team total. So I didn't bet the money line because I felt like I think they're going to pot a couple goals in, but minus 150. I'm not laying that with the Bruins on the road against this Islanders team.
Yeah, I have another full game. Yeah, I had the first period over, and I'm on Islanders to score next, and I'm just going to be kind of just chipping away at that. I won't have any. I probably won't take a side in this game.
It's probably a good game to bet live. Too.
Yeah. Like what I've been having a lot of success with betting live is teams being down by 1 goal going into the third and just betting the draw. Usually you can get it right around like plus 200. It's crazy how often that was hidden in that Leafs series, especially with them obviously they only wanted to play in the third period, those games. So that's kind of what I've been keeping an eye on lately too.
Oh, those Leafs. What are we going to do with those Leafs? I had some fun with them over the last few days, no question. And having fun with, like I say, I would say 3/4 of my friends that are hockey fans or Leaf fans. So it's been fun picking at their expense the last few days. Tampa Bay is really starting to come on here these last few shifts with pressure in the Carolina zone. The last thing we need here is an early deficit here for Carolina because we got them first period tonight, which is actually the best bet for me on the Ice Guys show today. We don't want to lose it. I want to win it. I'll take a push if it comes to that, but can't fall behind here. Give Tampa this first goal. Lightning nearly got it. Lightning are starting to carry the play a little bit, but so Carolina's got to settle in here. There you go. Yeah. Calm it down a little bit. Tampa Bay is starting to look like a dangerous team. Like the more they play, the more they're getting better. Doesn't it feel that way? Doesn't it look that way? That they're getting better
I mean,
with each team?
They're the defending Stanley Cup champions for a reason, and they're starting to play like it now more than easily you could say in the regular season at times too.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you knew those guys coming back from injury were going to take a couple games to get into the mix. I just thought that Florida would take advantage of that early in that series more than they did. And it's like they came back and were clicking right away, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah, and it seems like, too, they realized, hey, the playoffs are here now. It's time to take our game to another gear. And you just wondered if they had it in them after making the run to the Cup last year. But and it looks like they got the fire in their belly again. Like they really want to repeat. It's looking that way. Like they've got that itch to do it now.
I like Cooper a lot. He's just a good coach. Well-rounded. He doesn't overreact to things. He's level set. He's just a good coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league.
Calm demeanor. Sure. Yeah, calm demeanor. There's the detractors say, look, you were gift wrap a great roster on a silver platter when you took the job. And there's some truth to that. Like if you give him the Sabres, how's he doing there? How's anybody doing coaching the Buffalo Sabres right now? We don't know. Ottawa Senators, like they're a young group. Could he do well with them? That's the big question moving forward. But I think he's still done a really good job, and he's even keeled. He's really not going to be someone that's going to get riled up over one game or, a losing streak. He's going to stay calm, and that way his team's able to stay calm, be poised, play well. And he's got a veteran group. He realizes, I don't have to treat them like babies. Treat them like men, treat them like adults. And I think that goes a long way, too, as well. Oh, Tampa Bay nearly stuffed it in. That was I think that was Point almost getting involved.
Yeah, that was
there.
real close.
Really close. Palat now, we do have him to score a goal, but his shot got blocked. Carolina's definitely been hanging on these last couple of shifts here in this first period. They need their big gun. Where's Aho and company and Stahl? They need to get going. Svechnikov just had a chance, speak of the devil, but put it wide.
Wow.
Easy save, Vasilevsky.
Can't buy a goal this whole series, I feel like.
They can't. He can't, but the team can't.
Yeah.
But that's what you got to do. That was better. The shot got through. Vasilevsky made the save, but there was some traffic. There were two Canes right in front of the crease looking for a rebound. That's what they need more of, traffic and bodies to the net. But
even with that, I mean, Andrei Vasilevsky is playing out of his mind right now, and that's the scary thing for anybody playing against this Tampa squad moving forward.
Yeah, he continues to be just on pretty much showing why he's a Vezina candidate this year, Vezina nominee. I'm on Bruins Islanders over 1.5. Second period. So that is a bet that is only available at some books. Most books will just have 1.5. But I'm on 1.5 minus 125 for the second period, Boston and the Islanders.
Yeah, so, if you're looking at where are we at here? Yeah, that's plus 102 now if you want just over 1.5. I don't know if that started. Yeah, it started. Started.
Second period. Just
all right, I'll hop on that. That's Chris. You're on that too, Alex?
Yeah, we'll go second period over.
Okay.
Just over even money.
And Chris noted too, by the way, second periods in this series, 2+ goals in both second periods. So that is something that is in our favor here. Now, again, those were in Boston, change of venue. It does look like this game is definitely tighter defensively so far tonight. There's no question. There were less expected goals in the first period tonight than there were earlier in the games in Boston. So you just got to hope it opens up a bit. Boston nearly did score just now. Wow, great shot, but I think Varlamov got a piece of it. So we're underway, 1-0 Boston. First 2 minutes of the second period, still scoreless. Tampa Bay, Carolina. I'm standing pat with Tampa and Carolina right now. We're just going to wait to see the first period finishes. Then we'll make some decisions after that. Right now, we've still got Boston team total over in this game, 2.5. The full game over, 5, and now we're in on this 1.5 over for the second period here between these two.
Yeah, best not to look too far ahead with Tampa. I mean, they could score 2 goals in about 30 seconds. So
yeah, that's true.
Take it shift by shift. Yeah, like a coach will say, shift by shift.
Yep.
It's actually been that night in the Bruin game so far for the top line. They've actually been kind of quiet in the early going of this game.
I will say both second periods so far in that Tampa-Carolina series have stayed under 2. It's been 1 goal each. Tampa scored them both.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so I'll maybe be hesitant to jump on a second period over there, just given that trend.
Third period overs have been that's been the one period where it's opened up a little bit for the Carolina series. Is the third period, and I'm going to be eyeing an over in that game. I will be on an over live in game for Tampa, Carolina. If Carolina falls behind at any point, we're locking that in because they've got to go for it. They have to. If they fall behind, they have to open up. They have to go for it. You can't fall behind 3-0 in this series. So that's definitely a strategy in mind for me.
Yeah, when you're down 2-0 and you're losing, that's essentially an elimination game. I mean, as much as you want to call it. Now, go ahead and tell Toronto that, but
yeah. They didn't get the memo. It was a 3 elimination game, a chance to eliminate, or Game 7 specifically, when they were facing elimination. They didn't get the memo that night. They played that like a damn regular season game. It was a regular season team. It's essentially what it was. The most common narrative I've heard for the Leafs and for in particular Matthews and Marner in that series were they were regular season players. That's what they are right now. It's unfortunate to have to say that, but it's true. Like their regular season performances have been great, and their playoff performances over the last few years have been nothing like it. That's facts. That's real evidence right there. I mean, that's not us trying to be mean or harsh. That's fact. They've been good in the regular season. They've been bad in the postseason. Simple as that.
What game's Pierre on here? I'm kind of happy. I'm not
Pierre
listening. Is he on?
Chris, you hate him too, right?
He drives me crazy.
He hates the Penguins. It's very obvious. He hates them.
Yeah. And
but
he's
if you
on
talk
a
to the Bruins fans, they'll tell you, "Oh no, Pierre loves Sidney Crosby. He loves him so." No, he loves the Bruins.
He just talks too damn much.
He's on a full-out assault on
and too fast. It's like, man, calm down a second. And sometimes he's talking so fast, like he'll get all his words all mixed up. He'll go, and I've got the neutral zone, and he'll just spit it out there. It's like just, whew. And look, sometimes I have to tell myself that too, like.
And he's
be clear, yeah.
The full-on assault on all the analytics side of it. It's just it's exhausting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I used to be like that, but I'm relenting on that, like anti-analytics, mantra. There are some good analytics out there, like this.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion on that is you can't go full one way or the other, but I think it's good to dabble in both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some really shitty old statistics. There's some great old statistics. There's some shitty analytics statistics. There's some good analytics statistics. So you have to mix and match and pick and choose what works for you. As even a fan.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like let alone even to throw just the handicapping aspect, the gambling aspect out. What is a fan? Helps you understand the game better. That's what it's all about. You can throw 100,000 numbers. That's why baseball is outrageous with their analytics because there's 100,000 different ways you can look at a game numerically, but only 50 or 60 of them are really going to tell you a story.
Right.
Holy shit! That deflection almost went in for Tampa. Wow. We're just trying to get out of this period.
Bruins almost scored too.
Scenario here with the Carolina Hurricanes.
We don't have a penalty.
Does your heart drop like every time a goalie leaves its like crease and just like goes out and plays it just from Jari?
Well, after watching Jari, yeah.
I feel like every time I see a goalie leave a crease, they're doing something stupid, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Although Fleury is one of the few that I think does a great job when he comes out. I think he came to center ice the other night.
Yeah, there's a few goalies still left that can play the puck. You got Mike Smith, of course, veteran in Edmonton, and Nedeljkovic actually is a really good puck hunter. He scored a goal.
Kucherov just labeled someone in the neutral zone, and they're not happy at all. Carolina, Pesci's going after him right now, and there's a little scrum at center ice here. This is another. I didn't catch the full. I just saw the tail end, the corner of my eye when I was looking away, but there was some kind of hit here. It looks like he's okay though. So it's definitely not an Evans situation like last night.
Oh boy!
And we don't have a penalty in this period.
Kucherov, for sure.
We're going to have
Kucherov going in the box. Yeah.
Here it is again. Let's see. That wasn't it. No, here it is. Yeah. He didn't really raise the elbow. Didn't really get the head. Not terrible. It was open ice. It was late. Definitely late, but not to the head. It was a stiff, collision. leading with the elbow.
Linesman got hit harder than anybody else.
Yeah, it was down below the head, so that wasn't all that terrible.
What was your guys' thoughts on the hit last night?
Well, it's to me in today's era of NHL, it's suspendable, and clearly it is. We should mention they've been our viewers and listeners in the chat have mentioned it already. 4-game suspension for Mark Scheifele. It was just announced an hour ago. So 4 games for Scheifele, and it was suspendable. Today's NHL, you can't make that kind of hit in terms of just the distance traveled at that rate of speed, blindsiding someone like that.
Is this a 4-minute power play for Carolina? Because I saw somebody. That was 2 minutes. Okay, someone was holding their face as if they were bleeding, and then I can't tell because I'm watching on USA, and the screen is zoomed in, so I can't see what time or what penalty is going on. I can only see the score right now. So
with that damn bug that they've got that they're testing out for Turner. Turner better go back to the drawing board if this is the damn bug scoreboard.
Just use the one they use for the NBA. Like, you know, they've never had any issues with the NBA for 25 years. Like, just yeah.
I like that one. I like their NBA graphics TNT. Yeah. I do. They should use that for NHL. Bad start to the power play though for Carolina. 2 clears already for Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want them to score right away. So if they're going to score in this power play, we want them to score with like 10 seconds left. Save good that point. Under.
Yeah, good point. You're right.
Worst thing that could happen is they score on the first shift of the power play, and then Tampa gets it back and pumps one in.
Yep.
5 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a late hit. It was with an elbow, but the elbow was down, below the head. So it was just a late hit, interference. Yep. But that's essentially what a late hit is, interference. Yep. Carolina, wow. This is either good penalty killing by Tampa or lousy execution and puck movement by Carolina. They can't even get an entry into the zone right now. Melissa's going to be happy to hear this. Pierre Maguire is probably not going to be part of ESPN or Turner next year. He hasn't been offered a position yet. So
nice. That's good to hear.
There you go. Jimmy likes him here. Yeah. I know Jimmy Murphy likes him a lot, and
don't bring him on.
I don't mind him, but
I didn't mind him. Like, when I first started kind of rewatching hockey again back, when the Winter Classic and all
he's
that.
He's gotten worse and more annoying. I agree.
But it was just like his niche. He was, right next to the benches, and he can give you that inside info. Now it's like he's like a color commentator.
Right.
Like he talks way too much. And he doesn't even really give you any insight on what's happening on the bench, which is really what he needed to do.
He used to do that a lot more. Now it's right. It's like he's not even saying, well, they're saying this on the bench right now. Crosby's talking to the team. We got to get things going. He doesn't give you that as much. You're right. It's just his own opinions more now on the game more than anything.
Yeah, you could just tell. Malkin fell. Oh, he's hurting. Oh, he's so one-sided half the time. And who he's rooting for.
He'll find his way somewhere. He'll be on some Canadian network, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's where it'll be. He'll go back to TSN. 10 seconds left, first period here with Tampa, Carolina. It looks like we're going to end this period scoreless. Puck behind the net. That is going to be it. Yep, scoreless first period. Carolina, Tampa Bay. So. No goals. The under 1.5 cashes for Chris Otto. Way to go, Chris. Where did he go? There he is.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Chris. He's celebrating.
That under.
Yeah. No, I don't know. We lost internet there for a second, but we win the bet. So
there you go. First period, first 10 minutes, no goal, and under 1.5 in that Tampa game.
I'm still alive. That's why I didn't go for the first period. I went for that Carolina to score first. So we're still got a puncher's chance in that. But I think now with what's going on, Tampa Bay is probably going to make the adjustments. They might score first.
Yes.
So that's all 3 games now in that series of going 0-0 in the first.
Okay.
I almost bet that. I almost bet that second game, and then I didn't. And then I was going to come back with it again tonight, and I was like, somebody's going to score a goal tonight. But that's 3 in a row, no goals.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Isles are getting a penalty or a power play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Islanders getting finally open up for this period here.
So now, Chris, do you do exact score props with first periods?
Not often. I debated it on this series, just given the way that regular season series played out with, what was it? What did I say? 6 of 8 going under in the regular season series, and then the first 2 going under. I thought long and hard about it, but I didn't make the move on that.
All right, here's an Islanders chance here to maybe tie this one up. Currently,
I still have Islanders to score next goal too. So.
Yes. All right, power play time for the Islanders here. Down 1-0 here. Second period, I should say, to the Bruins. Boston's going to get a clear, which is a good start to the penalty kill right there. Good work. Excellent work. Curtis Lazar. Curtis Lazar is a good player. Just needed to get away from Calgary, Ottawa, some of these other teams where, just wasn't the greatest of fit. But he's a hard worker. He's a physical player. He's good on the penalty kill. Skates well. He's a really good skater as well. And just in a depth forward role, he can be good for a team. Put him on the right team, a winning culture. Look at it. He's been with Boston. He's been solid in that kind of role. Oh, big save Rask there as the Islanders crash the net looking for a little bit of a garbage goal. Long shot, waffle boarded away by, here we go, Ian Cameron play-by-play for sec. Letty fakes the drive. Quick shot, high and hits the glass, wide, back to the point, splits the two defensemen. It comes all the way back down the ice. The Islanders will have to recoil. Minute left on this power play. There you go.
Nice.
You're like 8 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
That's all know what they score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just an update on that Carolina game. Expected goals that first period was 1.72. So there were chances, a lot of high danger chances. So
yeah,
if we're going to get something over, I think it would be in that game.
And that's the dilemma, Chris. That points to a second period over bet, doesn't it? With those kind of expected goals numbers, yet the first two games don't indicate that.
I know.
Stop by Rask, point blank.
Big save.
I think if you like that game over, I think you play it full game.
Right.
If you like Tampa, Carolina over, I don't think you mess with the second period. I think you go full game.
I agree. Yeah, because the third period, you want that part of it. You either bet at full game or you bet third period and wait till the second intermission. I agree because the third period's been the highest scoring period of this series. Not that that's saying a whole lot.
I mean, you can get over 3.5 now for minus 103.
Beer, my friend, not coffee. I'm not drinking coffee at this time of the night. No way. Yeah. Beer. Yeah.
We only drink
a shot right now. So.
We only drink coffee when Vegas is playing at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys could do. I was so tired today because I was up for that game, and I'm on the Central Coast time, so I don't know how you East Coast guys do that.
Yep. Night hockey. Yep. 2 a.m. bedtime every night. 2 a.m. Eastern. Yep.
That's when I update all the periods.
Yep.
There's nothing harder.
I was going to say Chris is going to Vegas on Saturday, so I'm jealous. He was telling me.
Good for you,
nice.
Chris. Where are you staying?
Orleans.
Okay. It's going to be about 110 degrees out there. I
know.
Better bring your hats and your sunscreen. That's for sure.
Yep.
You get roasted like a chicken there if you don't have it. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be hot everywhere. It's going to be like 95 here in Minnesota. So.
Yeah. Love when it
rebound.
Gets not that hot.
Oh shit! What a chance there, Pasternak. How did he miss the net? Whew, what chance he had there. What a spot.
Wow.
Commercial going with Boston.
Melissa and I were talking today. I still can't believe that Vegas game last night that they only scored one goal, or they scored two
goals.
2 goals.
Yeah.
2 goals.
I just can't believe all those chances, and they couldn't do
multiple posts. Friggin' Grubauer was outstanding, and like we said on the Ice Guys show this afternoon, do we still doubt Grubauer right now? Do we still have worry that he's not a caliber goalie that can win games for his team? Like, didn't he answer that last night? Sure looked that way to me.
Yeah, and they just, I mean, the ease with which Carolina comes through the neutral zone, or Colorado comes through the neutral zone is just, it's insane. They have so many skaters and so many puck handlers. It's just impossible to slow them down.
And the power play, it's generating just tons of great looks every single time. The puck movement, the player movement, the puck never sits still. The players never sit still on the power play. That is the quality and the characteristics of a great power play. The puck moves, the player moves. Nobody's, just standing around waiting for something to happen. They move around the zone looking to make something happen. That's what makes a good power play. Like that, every power play they had last night, if you're Vegas and you're a fan, your heart's in your throat. And they're coming like within inches of scoring on every power play. Lethal right now.
Yeah, Vegas needs to stay out of the box. Now, the one in overtime I thought was kind of weak to call that there.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it was a penalty, but I would have let it go in that end of the game. I honestly would have let it go. But like DeBoer's trying to say it wasn't a penalty.
No, it was a penalty.
You slash the stick. The stick does not have to break for it to be a penalty. As long as you slash the stick out of the opposing player's hands, it's a slashing penalty. That's that's just the way it is. It's the way it's been for years. No matter how Pete DeBoer does not put enough blame on his team if they win or lose a game. I find he's too easy on this team. He's like trying to find excuses and reasons they didn't lose the game. He'll never say we played poorly. We were terrible.
Is it that, or is it just that we don't know what he's doing behind closed doors? Maybe like I said in the show today, I think it's more of he's sticking up for his guys a little bit more publicly, and he could be ripping them, in the clubhouse and during practice, respectively. So I don't know. It could be one or the other.
No, but he definitely does complain a lot. A great stop there by Varlamov. Krejci had a good chance just now for the Bruins. Bruins starting to press again. Looking for this. They've only had 8 shots on goal in this game. That was only their 8th shot. So they haven't necessarily been active, even though they've got the 1-0 lead. But now they're starting to throw some pucks at the net. Matt Martin, by the way, for the New York Islanders on the ice right now. This is that famous fourth line, which is actually one of the better fourth lines in the NHL. Martin, Clutterbuck, and Cizikas. Cizikas, of course, scoring the overtime winner the other night. But we got a stoppage here. I think it's just offside right now. But yeah, this is definitely in terms of shots on goal. Both teams have buttoned things up a little bit defensively in this game. 13-9 for the Islanders. Shots, which is much less than we've seen so far here in this series. Still 1-0 Bruins. I'm sitting on Boston over team total, so I think the key for me is don't let it get to 1-1. If we get a Boston 2-0 lead, I feel good because 3 goals, then the Islanders have to open up even more. Boston can get to that 3rd goal via empty net if it comes to that late in the game. 1-1, I'm all of a sudden not as feeling as good about that team total getting there. Especially in what's been a tighter checking game. There's no question there's been tighter checking with both sides so far tonight. Islanders having a good forechecking, cycle the puck shift right now in the offensive zone. Some of these Bruins have been on the ice for 1:40. Carlo, Riley, the 2 defensemen, they've been on the ice for 1:40, and they almost paid the price for it. Islanders nearly stuffed it in on a opportunity coming out from the corner to try to put it past Rask. Now they'll get the line change they desperately needed. They needed it. Those defensemen were out for almost 2 minutes.
They wanted that penalty.
Yes. Good shift by the Islanders there. They got the Bruins hemmed in. Barzal, again, with a chance, but no goal. And that's been the issue for Matthew Barzal, is being able to find the back of the net here in this series. So we're in rough waters with over 1.5 here in this second period, as we are still rooting for the first goal in this period.
Still a good chunk of time, 7:45 left, but you got to do something soon for those numbers.
Yeah, over half is at -105 right now.
Yeah. Give me one, I'll be happy to at least salvage half of that bet. Get it back here a little bit. So far, we don't have a win on the board. We don't have any losses yet on the board, but we don't have any wins. We have a push with the Carolina first period because it's scoreless. So the first period money line on Carolina.
That's the loss with the first period over was a loser for the Bruins game.
Oh, look out, turnover here. Oh, man, Rask, what a good active stick there with the poke check. Smart.
I have wins on mine, but they were all bet pregame.
Yeah, that's right. The no goal in the first 10 minutes, Carolina under in the first period of that game. Again, as Chris said, we saw a lot of good chances in the first period of Tampa, Carolina. Makes you think we could see some goals second period, but the problem is we have not seen that in this series. Second period is where offenses come to die in that Carolina-Tampa series. So we're worried about that a little bit. Bruins, boy, they gave it away at the blue line. Would have had a nice chance there. Great job to get it back, though, by the Bruins, making up for that little turnover there. Now they got the puck back in the zone. Islanders trying to clear it, though. They do. It's been very, very good, but both of these teams in terms of how they're checking right now in this game. Both teams. Not a whole lot when there's someone with the puck in open space. There's one or two players at least going to them, trying to check them right now. And that's why it's difficult to get anything generated right now, both of these teams.
Yeah, Bruins only have 4 shots in the second period. They had 5 in the first.
And they just had a hell of a shot, and it was stopped by Varlamov. What a save he just made there. And now the Islanders come back and shot it over top of the net on a little bit of a transition opportunity. That was not an odd man rush. It was 2-on-2, but still good rush chance for the Islanders. They need more of that. Oh, that's out. That's offside. Oh, yeah. Brought it out beyond the blue line. Great stop by Varlamov. Huge save in what's been a pretty tight game there.
Varlamov's good against everybody but Pittsburgh.
Apparently.
We tear him apart.
And you tore him apart in that series, and then Barry Trotz goes with Ilya Sorokin, and he's great the rest of the series and clearly outplays Jari. And his decision to put Sorokin in and game out was stroke of genius, to just have the sixth sense to do that, because Varlamov's been his guy. He's been there for a couple of years now. It's not easy to just say, you know what, Varlamov, sit your ass down. I'm going to go with Ilya Sorokin, but he did that. And
but keep in mind, Trotz, this is the same coach that had Holtby sat down those first 2 games the year that they won the cup. He comes back in that series, and the rest is history. So,
yep. Yeah, guys, we're looking for live bets here, but we're in a situation here where we got 2 games that one game 0-0, the other's 1-0, and unfortunately, I'm just waiting to see how this plays out. Third period in this game, we're going to have some opportunities here because it's going to be. One team's going to have to press a little bit, assuming that's the Islanders, if this is still 1-0. So there's going to be an opportunity here for some third period bets. Second period, I'm standing pat in Tampa, Carolina as of right now. I'm waiting to see how that period starts. Chris mentioned the fact that the previous 2 games in that Tampa, Carolina series, the second period stayed under both times. So you worry about that a little bit here going into this second period. Even though there's been chances, we have not seen goals specifically in the second period of the first 2 games with the Lightning and the Hurricanes. Melissa and Chris, we'll get your thoughts on Scheifele for a second because, Chris, what did you think of that hit? Like, are you one of those old school fans that loves that a rough, heavy hit like that, even if it does come across a little bit dirty? Or is it just, hey, it's a new era of hockey, you just can't be doing that? What did you think of that hit last night?
I think it's situational. I think in that spot, it was uncalled for. He traveled 200 feet to get him, and the puck was in the net, or it was going in the net. So it was. I'm okay with a check there, but I'm not okay with putting him horizontal.
Yeah, that's well said. I think that's the way it's distance traveled. Like if he's just like right next to him down at that end of the ice, then he hits him, okay. But he's basically going from the opposing blue line right down to the other end of the ice near the boards area just to wallop him the way he did. And look, 30 years ago, people barely bat an eye at a hit like that. And now that's not the case because players are faster, stronger, bigger, and the equipment is much heavier. So there's much more physical impact on someone on a hit like that. What did you think of it, Melissa? What do you like? What about that Habs-Jets series? Did you have a lean one way or another? Or are you just saying, I'm going to look at this series game by game and go from there?
Yeah, I'm game by game with that. I was obviously on the Jets yesterday, which kind of backfired because I took them first period, puck line, and then also the full money line, which was kind of juiced by the time I took it. So in regards to that hit, I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like I'm kind of one of those who grew up watching the old school style hockey, and I enjoy those hits. I get from an athlete's standpoint, he's obviously pissed off after getting scored the empty net, and he just had all that momentum. And what, as a past athlete, you kind of think he's going for that on purpose. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, what part of me thinks it was dirty and he got what, the suspension is what he deserves. The other part of me thinks, this is hockey and this is kind of what I grew up watching. And so I don't know. I'm curious too to get, because Turnsey obviously is a huge listener of the show. He's like hockey player, and I think he had, and even I think Moneyback also was a hockey player who both said, as hockey athletes, I see this as a clean hit. So it's interesting to see that maybe from like a hockey player standpoint, it might be different just because you're in that moment, you're losing the game, you're upset, and you just don't stop. But I loved Alex's analogy about putting your head down, or not doing that, because my dad was a hockey player and he used to always say that too.
Yeah.
He said, don't ever put your head down when you're playing hockey.
Yeah.
He ended up getting like stitches in his tongue because he got knocked by a guy and bled out all over the ice. So, I don't know. I see both sides, but I think part of me wants to think, this is the hockey I grew up watching, and I can understand why it happened.
Physically, the hit wasn't dirty, but situationally, the hit was.
Yeah.
Wow, what a chance there for Boston. Stopped again. Varlamov's had a couple of point-blank saves in this period to keep it 1-0. It's been impressive. Bruins did a buzzing again. Another chance. Stopped again. Varlamov, good goaltending from him here in this second period, keeping it a 1-goal game. Bruins have had their chances. You're right. He gave you good advice, Melissa, because you're right in terms of you got to have your head up, and you have to have your head on a swivel at all times, especially when you're playing in a sport that is a contact sport like this, that is extremely fast-paced. You got to be able to look around to see who's coming at you at all times. There's a reason why, and I still have memories of this. I have a majority of these Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em videos, which were all the rage in the 90s. And when they're doing the hits section of those compilations, and there's Don Cherry saying, look at that hit, you got to keep your head up. Yeah. Every voice there, yeah.
That's great.
Gotta keep that head up. And basically he's and he makes good points. You got to keep that head up. He's 100% right. And I always love too in the fights. And they picked the best of the best fights every season on those Rock'em Sock'em videos. I'm sure you can find them on YouTube. Like you've seen Probert and McSorley, and you're seeing all these great enforcers from the past. These were fights where they're not just standing around pawing at each other. You're seeing boom, boom. You're just seeing them swinging at each other and standing on their feet and still swinging. I mean, those were some freaking fights back then in that era. And I always loved how he says, it's time for the fights. If you don't like the odd tussle, it's tea time for you. You can turn the TV off. Time's up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's funny during the at the 2013 12-13 lockout. I met a guy online who's out of Philadelphia, and he was actually hired by teams to tape games for different sports, and he had a massive library of fight DVDs. I ended up buying about maybe 100 of these. I've got all the Hawks fights over the years, Wolves, different leagues. I got some of the independent leagues up in Quebec, different things. Fights back then. I mean, and there was some dirty fights, especially you start talking about the IHL, the East Coast League, and then in the 80s and 90s. That's why when people talk about all these are dirty plays now, it's like no. I've watched dirty hockey, even if it wasn't live in person, but I've got evidence of the dirtiest of hockey, and we haven't seen anything like that in the last 20 years. Like I said, in the hits department we have, but you're not seeing guys gouging their eyes out in fights and scrums, in the piles and stuff. That's the shit you were seeing 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, no, you're right. You mentioned exactly what I've seen in some of the fights way back in the day. Eye gouging. I've seen it. It's just any means necessary to win a fight. I mean,
and in the 70s, they had the curb. You had guys sticks. Everybody talks about that scene in Slapshot. That was a legitimate thing. There were guys that would square off and duel. Like they had swords in their hands, in certain levels of hockey, and so they had to. You got to take that shit out of the game. But a clean fist fight between two gentlemen, and they go on and skate off and serve their penalties. There's no reason why it should be out of the game now.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. To me, it's those were some dandies back then in terms of how good the fisticuffs were back in that day. We're almost at the end of the second period here. Bruins and Islanders, 20 seconds left. The Bruins have tilted the ice here toward the end of the second period here with just 15 seconds left. But they've come on stronger and stronger as the period's gone on, which is pretty impressive. But Islanders holding them at bay. Looks like that is it. Yep, 1-0 Boston. Scoreless second period in this one, and it's still anybody's game. Bruins had some chances to go up 2-0, but Semyon Varlamov, impressive job shutting the door, in that second period when the Bruins had some chances. So we go to the third with Boston leading the New York Islanders 1-0, heading to period number 2. We've got the Hurricanes and the Lightning. They are back in action as well in the second period, just a couple minutes into it, still scoreless. Again, sorry, guys, nothing to update right now. We're waiting. As much as I want to play some bets, make the show lively and interesting and exciting, but I also want to win.
Right.
So I'm not just not just betting something for the sake of it. To get us some action here. I want it to be a sensible, logical, positive expectation bet. So unfortunately, as of right now, I'm standing pat in this one. What a shot by Hedman, but he missed the net.
The draw is at plus 235 right now if you think the Isles are going to come back in the third.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad, especially with this still being a 1-goal game. And Boston had the better chances. Yep.
The third period over is sitting at minus 125 right now.
Wow, that's tempting. For Bruins and Islanders, that's very tempting because Islanders do have to push. They do have to open up a little bit. I might wait a little. Let's see how it starts out in the first. I'm going to try to squeeze a plus price out of that.
Yeah. You probably need 2 minutes to get that to plus.
100%. You're right, Chris. And that's what Alex and I have implored to our audience, our listeners in the past. Just wait. Just, have a little patience. Wait a couple minutes. Obviously, it goes out the window if there's a goal in the first 2 minutes, but take your chance there isn't. And you'll get that over 1.5 minus 125 in the third period. All of a sudden, you'll get a plus price on that after just a couple minutes. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's funny. Live betting has taught me more patience than I've ever had in my entire life. I'm not a patient person by any means, but once I started live betting, I had to learn it, and it's kind of helped in other avenues.
Well, and it's tough because the art of live betting is you have to be able to see it, but you're kind of going against what you think. Like it's
sure.
I don't know. It's very hard.
Yeah, contrarian way of thinking, which I kind of have that naturally. I think most bettors kind of have that in some aspect. Yeah, that's it's almost a learned behavior, I would think. I've always kind of had that in life in general, but I think that's more of a learned behavior for gamblers. When you start betting, you kind of just you go with the flow in a sense, and then you have to kind of train yourself to be a little more contrarian thinking.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some truth to that. No question. By the way, this is a hockey show. It's not an NBA show, but there are a couple of elimination NBA games. So I'll just throw out that
LeBron going to lose, hopefully.
53 Portland right now in the first half against Denver with the Blazers facing elimination in that series.
Yeah, I have Lakers minus 110 for the series. Shout out to Sammy P and the Chicken Dinner podcast. I thought that was a great spot to grab them. I was on Suns game 1, Lakers game 2, and grab Lakers series.
Carolina's on the board. We have a goal. It's Brett Kelsey
there
from
we
the
go.
blue line. And Alex B. Smith on the board. Carolina first to score.
Sweet.
There we go.
Nice, Alex.
There we go.
Winners.
Took long enough. I think
that's bet on the show as well.
Yeah. You don't think a first to score prop would cash halfway through the game, but hey, we'll take it. So cheers to that, y'all.
Great shot.
I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back on in like 10 minutes here. I got to go walk my dog real quick.
All right, Melissa. Good to see you soon.
All right.
That did not hit anything. Clean in.
Right between his legs.
Yeah, and a great shot up in the top corner. And there it is, 1-0 Carolina. And this is the first lead that the Carolina Hurricanes have had in this series. First lead. So now we'll see Tampa Bay's got to chase the game a little bit.
Which is kind of plays into their style, if we're being honest.
Yes, definitely. And I do have a piece of Carolina, full game. I had a bigger piece of the first period, but I didn't lose it. So they still be profitable if Carolina wins the game in terms of the side. All right, so that changes things a little bit. Now you cashed Carolina first goal. Have you got your eye, Alex, on anything in terms of second goal?
I'm trying to see now what the number. Lightning minus 135 to score next. Might wait a little bit and see if that number drops down, but I can definitely see the Lightning evening this one up.
Yep. So you're naughty by naturing it, as I like to say. You know, hear me though. Now players, we feel the flow.
Yeah.
You got to feel the flow here.
Exactly.
Who's going to carry the flow of the game after that
Yep.
first Carolina goal? Yeah.
Yep.
You're naughty by naturing it. So I like to say.
And Tampa is one of those teams that, you know, they're good. We talk about, you know, counter punches. They're a good counter punching team. When they get down, we talk about it when they lose if they lose a game, how well they are off a loss. But even in game, they're one of those teams that when they let up a goal, they'll get one right back.
Yeah, no question.
If you like Tampa to score here in the second, you can get over a half goal Tampa. That's minus 109 right now. So,
okay. That might be the better way to go.
Right. That's a way to look at that, too. If you think they're going to score this period, I mean, there's 13 minutes left. They could definitely do that. Minus 109. That's not a bad price.
Yeah.
And if you wait a minute or two here, that'll probably get the plus money.
I might do that. I might jump on that.
TV timeout.
I might jump on that. I mean, that's Tampa at home, a plus price within a matter of minutes just to score in this period. That'll be tough to pass that up, especially with them being down 1-0, because now they have to kind of attack even more and be more aggressive. Yeah. Big goal for Carolina, though. I told you, this team has some life to them. They're not tucking their tail between their legs and calling it a series, even though they lost the first 2 home games. They've had too good of a season to do that, and we're seeing that for sure right now.
Yeah, Tampa, I was just looking to see, for the playoffs here, second period, they haven't scored in 2 games. So of the 8 they've played, they've scored at least 1 goal in 6 of 8.
There you go. So they have found the back of the net here for the most part in these games so far in the second period. At least been able to score 1 goal. We'll see if that keeps going for this game tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
That must be getting pounded because that moved from what did I say it was? Minus 106. It's at 113 now, so it's getting hit. That line is moving. Like I said, I think we probably need a minute or so of no scoring, and then that'll get to where we want it.
Yeah, to plus money. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm going to wait for that to get to a plus price, and if it does, I'm definitely going to be very interested in jumping in on that. No question about it. All right, so we've still got a few minutes until the third period begins. Bruins and Islanders. I can tell you right now, I am interested in a third period over, but I'm going to wait till that price drops a little bit on it. I definitely am going to wait till that. Third period over is about minus 125 in most spots right now. You can get that at a better price if you wait just a little bit. Like we say, a couple minutes. And I don't want to lay juice too much on the live bet, especially when you're seeing really, Chris, tight checking here in both of these games for the most part. It's hard to find open ice. So if you want to wait to get that plus price, it's worth it your while probably to do that.
Yeah, I try when I'm live betting these. I try with everything I can not to lay juice. It's just you get down in the hole real quick if you lay too much juice on these. It's tempting. You're like, oh, that's got to go over, but
no.
Yeah, better to wait.
I want to mention a strategy you've done, and I've seen this before, and I saw it last night, and it didn't work last night with Vegas, Colorado 2-2 with like 5 minutes to go in the third period, and you're jumping on over 5.5. Before in regulation, so the third period essentially over 1.5 third period, over 5.5 full game at like plus 500 or 600 was.
Yeah, if you get to like the 5,
line.
Yeah, if you get to the 5 minute mark on that, you can get some crazy numbers. And this year, I'm trying to find my data on that. This year, I started off with that at the beginning of the season, and I don't know if maybe it was just coming out of the break and teams were loose, but I cashed like 6 of 10 of those to start the season at plus 500 and was feeling good. And then it went on a stretch where I think I lost like 11, 12, 13 in a row. Couldn't get one to cash. And then I kind of just held off it because I wanted to end. I think I was up 25 units or 20 units on it. So I was sitting good on a profit there. And, but yeah, that died for whatever reason this season. That really died the second half of the season.
Yeah, and I like the strategy though, because you get that price plus 500 to 600 range, and that's usually what you'll get when it's 5 minutes to go, and Carolina's got on the board again. And there he is, Sebastian Aho. A great lead pass, and he beats Vasilevsky through the wickets on the breakaway. Cash is one of my goal scorer props. I was worried about some of these goal scorer props. You know, for a low-scoring series, I bet like 5 different Canes to score tonight. We get Aho on the board, 2-0 Carolina.
That nice just came back from that. That's amazing.
Great lead pass, too.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Beautiful pass.
Damn, wish I had to bet that. You know what? This is sometimes you learn something, and we learned something here with this game. Chris mentioned it. A lot of high danger chances if you look at the charts after the first period. But I stayed off the second period over because of the fact, you know, second periods have been unders in these series. So what do you weigh? What is the stronger factor? What do you weigh more, essentially? Do you weigh the way the series has gone to this point in a certain period? Or do you weigh the way this particular game has gone, which has been greater high danger chances than maybe we've seen earlier in the series? And obviously, we should have listened to high danger chances in the first period and, you know, bet the over in this period rather than rely on the second periods being under to this point. It's always, you know, 20/20 hindsight, but
yeah, it's tough. It's a tough argument. I have it every night with myself to try and figure out what I want to go with. Yeah.
And that's right. And that's why you can't pound yourself too much for staying off the second period over, because the first 2 second periods in this series stayed under easily.
Yeah.
Mrazek has been just terrific tonight, by the way, for the Carolina Hurricanes. And he'll have to be terrific again as the guy that just scored to make it 2-0 Carolina just took a cross-checking penalty.
Yeah, so the Tampa over a half is at 132 now, minus 132. Obviously, they're on a power play, so that's why that number moved.
Yeah. Lightning next to score is minus 175, so no value there at all.
Yeah, so if you're likely the Lightning to score, you're better off taking the over half in the second and
exactly
risking that they will score with 10 in the next 11 minutes here.
Yep. Yeah. And like I say, sometimes in these situations, like for me, I've missed out on getting Tampa Bay at the best price to score in this period. I'm hoping I actually don't score on this power play, then bet it at a better price.
Yeah, that would be ideal. It's already at 110, so 107. It's dropping like a rock. So if they get off the power play, it's probably going to move to plus 130. Oh, the bet went off, so something might have happened here.
Yeah, well, Tampa's got it in the zone here. We'll see if something comes of it. It's a pass across, and they scored. There you go. Something did happen. Braden Point, great passing play. 2-1 Carolina.
Absolutely incredible passing right there.
Tic-tac-toe.
That's Tampa. That's classic Tampa Bay right there.
Yep. And Braden Point, what else is new? And all of a sudden, 3 goals. If you bet, over 5.5 before the game started, you're live again.
Yeah, and that's why everybody in the chat's talking about their over 5 is dead with Boston, New York. No, hold the line on that because this is the playoffs. This is the time where we can see some crazy shit happen in one period like this.
There's nothing anybody can do. That's just unbelievable passing. Kucherov right there, and you can see. I believe that was. Yes, that was Pesci just trying to get the stick there on Braden Point and just missed getting a stick on him. Just like a game of inches right there. That close to getting him, and unfortunately they don't get him at all. He gets the shot away and finds the back of the net.
Now, if you're not on Carolina, like I was on Carolina pregame, this is probably a good spot if you want to come in with Tampa at a good number. Down 1.
What a stop by Vasilevsky there. Carolina
plus
right
160
back after
right
giving up that goal. Yep.
Yeah. If you think Tampa is going to ride the momentum here,
and they've got speed on this side too. So
yep.
It hasn't opened yet for me. I don't have access to it yet. I don't, if they hadn't scored yet, so I wasn't going to say anything about that yet. But now that they got 1, this is a chance.
Plus 160 regular money line, and if you want to get in regulation, get plus 205.
Yep. What a block there. Another great block shot by the Lightning. Jeez, talk about sacrifice. It's a team wide. They just throw their bodies in front of everything right now. Incredible. That's how you win a Stanley Cup. Everybody pays the price. Everybody digs in. They do the little things like that. It doesn't show up. Well, it will. It'll show up on block shots. That is, a stat that's tracked. But, most people look at goals, assists, and points. They don't look at block shots. They just don't. But it shows up, and boy, does it make a big difference to your team when you do that. Great save here by Vasilevsky. 2-1. Carolina presses right after giving up the goal and makes that great save on one of the best names in hockey right there. And he's playing because of the injuries to the likes of Niederreiter and Trocheck. Morgan Geekie. Don't be geeky. He's in the lineup tonight for Carolina. Yeah. He's one of those guys that was on the team that won the Calder Cup a couple of years ago for the Charlotte Checkers. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Sam. Yep, Nedeljkovic was the starter for that team. That was they beat the Chicago Wolves, and that series actually ended on my birthday, June 8th, a couple of years ago. Fun fact.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned those old Chicago Wolves fight tapes a few seconds ago. I wonder if one of the guys who's been a guest on this show a couple of times, Devin Didiometti, showed up on any of those. He might have. I don't know if it was that. Long.
I don't. Yeah, no. Because the tapes I had, these were from when they were in the I and like the first couple of years of the AHL. I know Devin played a little bit earlier than that, but like I said, I remember I've watched him play for sure. Like I said, I follow the Wolves were the team that really kind of got me into hockey. I was always a Hawks fan, but it was hard to get tickets for the Hawks growing up, or they just were so bad. You didn't want to spend the money. So the Wolves, and today's the anniversary. Today's 19 years when the Wolves won the Calder Cup. The first year they go from the IHL to the AHL, they won in double overtime on this day. And it was just like I said, we talk about different era of hockey. It's just a different brand and style of hockey too. I mean the AHL now, and I don't watch that much minor league like I used to. The AHL. And the IHL, I loved the I growing up. That was such different hockey. That was throwback hockey, even from the 90s to 2000s. That was the throwback to the 70s and stuff. And minor leagues now are so different. And I don't, Ian, I don't know how much minor league hockey you watch. I know you're there in Hamilton. You guys used to have the AHL team.
We have OHL junior now. Yeah.
Right. And Chris, I know you said you're in Pittsburgh, so I don't know how much you follow the Scranton Penguins, the Wilkes-Barre team.
Slightly, a little bit.
Slightly, but the minor leagues have changed so much now, because it's all about feeding the NHL club. They don't have independent identities, and the Wolves were the last team in all of minor league to really kind of have their own identity and say, hey, we got an affiliate, but we're going to do our own thing. We got our own players, our own coaching systems, and I think that's made a change on the league too. You look at Rick DiPietro when he was the number one pick. He cut his teeth in the IHL with the Wolves. He didn't go to the AHL. He wasn't part of a feeder system. I think that might have a lot to do with some of the things we talk about with, the code of conduct with players and just development. The minor league system has changed so much in hockey. And, something I might look into more during the offseason. But I think that has a lot to do with how players respond to things generally, now, because the minor league systems aren't what they used to be in hockey.
I grew up in the central part of Pennsylvania, so Johnstown Chiefs was a team that we followed a little bit.
In East Coast League, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Oh, look who's here! We've got back from the I think a little hiatus, a little siesta. Maybe he went to one of those monks' temples to get a little, just a little, just a nice calm, get the bad vibes out of his system after a disappointing end of the season for his Minnesota Wild. But he is with us right now. Here he is, the one, the only Wild fan, Terry Edelman. Terry, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
You've been away. We've noticed you haven't been in the chat the last few days on the show. We thought you just needed to get the depression and a couple days just to, get all the disappointment out of your system. We assumed that was the case.
Yeah, playoffs have been tough. Playoffs have been really tough for me. I lost quite a bit of the profit I made during the regular season. So I just decided to take some time off and but
nothing wrong with that.
Can't miss a live Betcast, so
Yeah. Well, guess what? I should have
Yeah.
taken a day off maybe tonight after the last 2 days, but I didn't. And I always talk myself somehow out of taking a day off. And sometimes it's not always good. It's good to take a day off when you're struggling. I always preach that. And sometimes I don't practice it, but it is good to do that. It really, honestly, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you honestly could get yourself in even bigger trouble and in even deeper a little bit. By the way, Cheshire Cat, who was in the chat, was asking me, DMing and asking for to join the show. I sent him the link a long time ago. So if you're around, Cheshire Cat, you know where to find us. I sent you the link. So if you're able to join us, you can.
Yeah, he came on last time for a minute, and then Brett was over talking him, and he signed out. So we don't have Brett on to over talk him this time.
No, Brett's doing what Terry did for the last few days. He's in depression mode.
Golfing.
Yeah, and maybe trying to find a tea time with Connor.
Yeah, right.
What about who is your DJ friend, Ian? That's a Leafs fan. Is he doing okay?
He's doing all right. I mean, remember he went to Texas. He's going to Mexico now, so he's
doing just fine. Yeah,
he's doing just fine. Yeah, living the dream. He's trying to further his career. He's on Beatport. He's doing something like Beatport is a huge website for dance, EDM DJs and producers. So the fact his music is available to listen and purchase there, he's doing something right. So he's clearly going in the right direction with that. Calvin Pepper. By the way, is who we're talking about. No salt, just pepper. Yeah.
Minus 114 on the third period over right now for Boston. That's started. We are.
Just got
someone heard me. Look who's here, Cheshire Cat. Welcome.
Yeah, I totally heard you say that. I was like, what? Were you mentioning me?
Hey, how's it going?
Glad you could join us. I got the DM said you. I'm ready to join you anytime, and I sent you the link. So good to have you. What's up? Hopefully you're here for more than just 20 fucking seconds this time.
Yeah, I'll be here for a little bit.
Nice.
All right.
How
are you?
What's up? By the way, Melissa, I was like,
what's that?
Brett was a little chatty that night.
Yeah, me and you were having a conversation, and he was talking. I don't even know.
He's just fucking going for it.
His stories are great, though. I will say that.
Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on. I have Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's embarrassing. I was thinking out loud. Okay.
Happens to me a lot.
I had both the things going, so I could hear, the replay of it.
Oh, yeah.
Nuts. Yeah.
Cheshire Cat, I got to thank you a million times over because I know you're not just watching me on the Ice Guys. I know I've seen your name in the pub sports radio shows that I'm doing as well daily. You watch all things Ian Cameron. That means a lot. I don't know how many.
I watch all of them, man.
Some people can't put up with me for 30 minutes, let alone 3 hours, 4 hours a day. So I appreciate that.
No, you totally mellow me out, man. I like it. I get on there and I'm like, all right. Cool. We're going to talk about baseball, hockey, and basketball, but I don't really watch basketball, but I just kind of get on there. Fresh is hilarious.
Oh,
I was making those jokes about Dutch getting out of the shower. I think those are fucking hilarious, by the way.
He is. Yeah. He's got a good style to him, and he is a funny ass dude. Yeah. No question about it. He's Dutch boy fresh. And like Kool and the Gang said back in the day, he's fresh, exciting. And he's good. He's funny. And he knows his basketball. So it's good for the show. Yeah.
Boston.
Boston power play.
Yeah.
They're on the power play.
Boston
big opportunity for them. Yep. Big opportunity for them to
third
get insurance.
Third period over is at minus 129 now. So we're going to have to wait this one out.
I still got this. I own the score next goal ticket.
Me too. I followed you, Alex.
I'm like, how the hell is it? I don't think I've ever had a next to goal prop go past like a period and a half this season. Like that, we're hitting a record now at this point.
Yes. So Cheshire Cat, any betting involvement on these games tonight or no?
Yeah, I've been tailing you guys. I did the over 1.5 for period 1, period 2 of the Bruins game. which isn't clearly not happening, and didn't happen. But other than that, no, I'm just kind of chilling. I was really stoked on the Jets yesterday.
Yeah, we all were.
And that, that didn't happen. But I did cash on the Avalanche, so that was good.
Nice.
Well, I wanted the Jets to win because I wanted to set that up to get Montreal at a nice price. Because I did want to bet Montreal, but I didn't want to bet them where they were because I really thought Winnipeg would win that first game. Now we're going to need Winnipeg probably to win 2 to get a good price on Montreal.
Yep.
The thing I hadn't really thought about this until last night when I was watching the game, but I was like, man, are the finalists going to be, is it going to be, God, sorry, this is so weird. I'm always interacting on the chat, not in the video. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You're doing great, my friend.
No, the thing I was thinking about last night was the Habs. Thank you, Melissa. And by the way, when I said Marissa earlier, I was doing it in this voice. Marissa!
Oh my gosh. I was wondering what's going on. But you also thought I was a 50-year-old woman too. So
it's funny.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate to hear that. Have to hear that about you. Yeah.
So I was thinking about the Habs and the Islanders being in the final. That was the first time that crossed my mind last night. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, there could be.
That would totally suck.
Matchup like that. Could be.
That would be a very weird final.
You guys
who had that crazy final.
Did you guys hear
like
that?
Plus 10,000 or something.
Yeah. At least, yeah.
Did you guys
put $1
hear that?
on it? Sorry, Chris.
Did you guys hear that stat the other night or the other day? I don't know if that was on VSiN or where that was. Follow the money, but 18 of the 19 of the highest paid players in the NHL are out of the playoffs.
Yep. I did hear that. Yeah, I heard that on a different show earlier today. Yeah.
They always, whoa, what a pass. He missed a wide open cage, a yawning cage for the Islanders, and not even hit the net with the shot.
Yikes.
Wow.
Come on, Isles. You got to tie this up. Give us the draw.
Plus 108. Plus 108 on the third period over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, boy, I'm tempted by that. I'm going to wait till I'm going to try to squeeze out this first TV timeout and then maybe get in on it. Get to this first TV timeout, the under 14-minute timeout. I'm tempted by it because, look, the Islanders have to press now. There's no getting around it.
Hell, both teams got to press at this point.
Weird. How do you chat with people on here? Is there a way to do it?
No,
the private. You mean the people that are on the stream? You mean?
Right.
Yeah.
There's a private chat on the right side. You just click that.
Yeah.
And then on the opposite side would be the comments from the regular chat on YouTube. And you can read.
Dude, what a cool little thing we got going here.
Yeah, and then you click comments, and you'll see the YouTube stream. The YouTube stream comments from the people watching. Yep.
Very cool.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
How the behind the scenes works, and then on Ian's end, because I did the one show solo. I didn't know how much was in like interactive as far as like when you're producing the show. There's a whole bunch of shit where I remember when I logged on, I'm like, I don't know how any of this works. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna click start and just hope everything's running.
You did a great job though, Alex. It's so tough to probably do that by yourself. You did a great job.
For sure.
Yeah, but we can't comment in the chat though.
No, you can't. You gotta go. You gotta have your YouTube link open to.
Yeah, usually I have the YouTube open, but the sound off. So I can
it's nice to have the day off that day, actually, not do many shows at all.
And you do like 3 shows a day. Yeah, you definitely the well-deserved day off for you for sure. So yes.
You'll need it too on your second dose probably, because that one hits you even worse. I heard.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Mine wasn't as bad. Like my first one was worse than my second. So, but you got the Moderna, so maybe plan accordingly, of course.
I gotta get my second. First one, nothing happened to me. I was fine. So, but I did the Pfizer. So
that's what. Yeah, same here.
The full game. Yeah, I didn't feel a thing, Melissa. I didn't. And look, I'm not Mr. Tough Guy in the world by any stretch of the imagination. I didn't feel bad at all. I didn't have any, nausea. I didn't have any headaches. I had a little, soreness in the arm. Other than that, nothing. Like I didn't have sweats. I didn't have chills. I didn't have any of this stuff that I heard people telling me I'd get 24 hours after I got the vaccine. I didn't get anything like that.
I think it's different for everybody. It kind of depends on your genetics. My sister is very Irish, and she had a terrible time with the second one.
Uh-oh.
I don't know
that's
why,
rude.
because I had the second one, and I was like, I felt sick for like maybe 3 hours, and then it was just like a hangover. It wasn't bad at all, and then it was gone.
That's good. Yeah.
But,
I didn't have the thing. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you hear some stories where it's like people were sick for 3 or 4 days, but I think a lot of that's just like placebo effect. You know, they're like overdoing it in their own heads.
Yeah, hypochondria in a sense. Yeah,
totally.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Something
you're
happened.
not getting
Crowd's getting loud.
microchipped.
yeah, right. No, definitely not.
I think it's a power play coming for Isles, or no, or
I think
Bruins.
so. They went to commercial very quickly, so that's what it seemed like it was.
I just
The
saw
crowd
that
was
stat.
going nuts.
I saw that stat pop up. I think the shots are 20-3 over the last whenever that was. I think that was in the second period that the timing was on that. But yeah, Isles have one shot this third period.
Holy shit. Big hit on Carlo by Cal Clutterbuck, and he went face first right into the glass. Like face first. His face just slammed right up against the glass.
Sorry, you call him Clutterbutt too.
Yeah.
I think
We got a tie game. Now Tampa just scored. Alex Killorn.
Oh yeah,
Making
that's so annoying.
2-2. Yep.
That's why I need 2 TVs because
Power play
I
goal,
can't handle this with just one TV.
You got to be quick with the remote.
It's funny though because I'm looking at the live and I noticed that Tampa did lock up, and I'm thinking to myself, who just scored? So that's funny how the bookies always know before us.
Yeah.
Well, they've got the fee. And here's a pro tip: if you have an offshore account with some of these shops, they have a little link where you can actually watch the feed live, like in real time. Yeah. So,
I think Terry, you do that, right?
Bet365, but it doesn't have it for hockey.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I can watch baseball
my
games
bookie
live.
and Bet Online. Like I watch because I don't have a package for baseball. I watch the Sox games through like my bookie basically. So,
yeah, you can watch the baseball on there, except like a few teams like Seattle games or the team like I can't watch Blue Jay games on there because I live there.
And Seattle's got a weird TV thing. Like you can't watch a lot of Seattle games in Seattle for some reason. So
the blackout rules are fucked with baseball.
Oh,
really brutal. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a Hawks fan. You don't have to tell me nothing about a blackout rule. Me and Melissa know how the blackout rule works.
Yeah.
Listen to our radios.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's basically your option. Stephen Lambert, thanks for joining us in the chat. And you're right, it's the IPAZ, and that's what's keeping me going. That's why I don't feel pain from vaccines or anything. There you go.
I'd be taking a nap if I was drinking an IPA right now.
It's strong shit. I'll say that right now. Yeah.
It's just
that Cooks, huh?
Oh yeah, that's it. I got the Cooks.
I
got the Cooks in the proper
dude, you got that Cooks. That's good shit.
You know, everybody talks about how they don't like champagne because they get headaches and hangovers. And I'm like, actually, if you go cheaper with champagne, you're gonna have a better next day. It's when you start drinking the higher quality stuff is when that's gonna give you I've had bottles of Dom before, and you wake up the next morning and it's just it's hell. But you drink cheaper
more
champagne.
It's good.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I should be drinking Boone's Farm then instead of
No, not Boone's.
Yeah, I think that's
mercy.
No, don't.
No.
College days.
Let's see. I gave me a bad flashback of like 2010 in college. So.
I'm on draw plus 200 just now in the Carolina Tampa Bay game. It smells like we're due for an overtime. Game 3, Tampa, Florida. Game 3, Tampa, Florida went to overtime in this same spot where Florida was down 2-0 in the series. So I'm jumping on that now. The price is not going to get any better than that. Plus 200.
Yeah,
draw.
I'm surprised that it's still at that if they're tied now, especially.
Yeah.
Mine's at plus
I'm going to take it too.
Yeah.
And even if Tampa goes ahead, 3-2, which they might because they're starting to tilt the ice a little bit, Carolina's going to press because they got it. So the draw is going to consistently be live the rest of this game.
Yeah, I got plus 143.
Wow. I got a bar. It's plus. Oh, it just dropped to plus 180 on my site.
Yeah,
so
plus 140 now for me. I'm gonna.
Everyone's grabbing it because they're watching this bet stream.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's doing it. Yeah.
I'm tempted to grab.
Is it weird that I'm using like my camera on my computer while I'm doing this at the same time? I don't know if I'm like
No.
getting in
I'm doing
everybody's
that.
face or something. Like,
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
"Hey, what's up?" Okay.
You're right
No,
here
you're
at the,
good.
on the,
All right.
at the yeah.
All right.
No, it's not like your face is right there. It's not like you're like
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm like. Shoot.
I'm tempted to grab Boston puck line.
Hmm.
Plus 143.
Yeah, that's a good point because if the
Yeah,
Islanders
it's
don't
probably the
tie at
last
end
call
of
for
the
that
year,
because that's going to become minus money in a little bit. So
This Islanders game is, I mean, going back and forth right now. It's fast paced.
I'm going to lock in draw plus 300 right now. Islanders Bruins a little bit as well. Plus
Yeah, I'm on
300.
that draw. You could tell me. I didn't get plus 300 though.
Yeah,
think
it's
I'm at
plus three.
plus
Oh shit! And
three.
it's, as soon as I lock it in, it goes to plus 325. Shit, man.
I got plus 260 on that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But if you wait around
Tampa-
longer, they tie it. You're not
Did
going to be.
Tampa
happy.
just score? Or is that a while ago?
That was a
Did
few
they tie
minutes
it up
ago.
a while ago? Okay. Oh my God.
Melissa,
Sorry.
you left, and I think they scored 3 goals
They
in that
scored
Tampa game.
3 goals. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah,
I
while you
came
were
back.
gone.
I'm like, what happened?
What happened? Where did this explosion come from in this series? They haven't had any goals in this series, and all of a sudden you get 3 in the pretty much the first 10 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right,
Hey,
second
guys,
period is just about over in Tampa, still 2-2.
I'm going to pop off for a little bit, but I might be back on.
all right,
All right.
cool. Sounds
Great
good.
to see
Join
you.
us in.
Yeah,
Come on back
thank
when you're
you.
ready.
I stayed a little bit longer this time. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable doing this. It's just
Yeah, I
so
love
weird
having
because, you know, like it just like lives in cyberspace, you know, and people can get on and look at it. I'm like, come on, man. You don't know me. But anyway, nobody's hated on me yet, so I'm feeling good.
Everybody can be themselves, Cheshire Cat, on this Betcast at any
For sure.
time. Nobody's judging
Yeah.
anybody.
If
Anybody
anybody
can do
hates
their own
on you,
thing.
then
Yeah.
we're going to go after them.
Yeah.
It's all
Thank
harmony
you.
and good
I
time
appreciate that.
and good drinks
All
as
right.
well.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, cheers.
Chester,
Cheers, Chester
oh,
Cat.
I was
All
just
right,
gonna
yep, there
ask
he
him
goes.
if he's on Twitter because I never see him on there. So
Oh, good question. I don't think he is on the Twitter. I don't know.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Is he?
But he's
Oh, he
under.
is?
He's not under Cheshire Cat. He's under at Luke Royer, which actually I don't
his
even
real
know
name.
if it's actual. Yeah, I don't even know if it is, to be honest with you. But because and he doesn't have his. You actually at one time now he's changed. He's got his own picture on the Twitter display picture. But
What is his Twitter? I don't even know if I follow him. What's his Twitter?
yeah, we'll get. You guys should be able to follow him. I'll mention it right now because that's how I sent him the link. I DM'd him on Twitter. His Twitter is at LRoyer86. LROYER86. There you go.
Okay.
How's
And now
Pucky
he's got
doing
his
tonight?
actual picture on the
yeah, I
display.
got. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. All right,
Chris,
good stuff.
Pucky's been on a roll. I think he's in the chat right now.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
got
I
to give
see
him
him
a
there.
shout out.
Yeah, he's been on that. Last night he was on fire. Well, really the last 2 nights he's
I
been
think
on
he's
fire.
sweeped the entire night.
Yeah, I think the Bolts. I think he's struggling a little bit tonight with this Tampa game, but
Yeah.
He was
And
on.
look who we've got here. We're about to turn up the heat here on the Betcast.
Uh-oh.
Turns
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Turnsy.
What's
Is that a
good?
Titans shirt?
Yeah, I saw that too.
What
yeah.
are you wearing? You're a Titans fan?
Of course I am. You didn't
And a
know?
Red Wings fan. That's random.
Yeah,
It is random.
it is very random, but
you would assume maybe a Lions fan, but I wouldn't even want to be a Lions fan in
Oh.
Detroit.
Yeah, that'd
in
be-
that area, let alone that.
Lions fan.
Anything Detroit is depressing. A funny story, though. I went to a Bears-Lions game when I was younger, and my dad and I pulled up to the stadium, and the sign, I think, said like $20 for parking. And the guy was like, $40. And my dad's like, the sign says $20. Obviously, we had our Bears gear on and everything. The guy's like, well, yeah, because you guys are Bears fans. So we had to pay more just to go in the parking.
Really?
Of course,
Wow.
It was like, I've never heard that hospitality before. And I'll
did they
never
do
forget
that
it.
down at? Did they do that down at Tampa with the Florida jersey nonsense?
Seriously.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
was so stupid. It's like Nashville, not allowing out of town people. Like, it's so stupid. Just let people come watch hockey. Like, We're all family. We all like our teams. Like, you're not going to allow the other opposing teams to your game. Like,
Some of the
dumb.
parking lot guys are great, though. One time we went to a Lions game, and our buddy passed out in the stands. So we ended up bringing him back to the parking lot, put him in the back seat of my car, and told the guy, we'll give you $20 to keep an eye on our buddy, because we didn't want anybody breaking in the car, finding a body laying in the back seat.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny.
I grabbed Boston.
That's our cat. That guy's a vibe. I love him.
In honor
You
of
got
Jimmy.
Boston?
I grabbed Boston puck line in honor of Jimmy. Yeah. And they just the Islanders just took a penalty. So
there you go.
8:57 left. They're on power.
All right, I'm getting in on that too. Boston plus 140 puck line. Not a great price, but plus 140 is not bad.
I just don't see anything from New York here. They just, I don't know. They got 4 shots this period. 15 to 4 shots.
So now I've got the draw plus 300. I've got Bruins plus 140 minus 1.5. So anything but 1-0 will make me quite happy. At this point, just don't end 1-0, and we'll.
You also got over 2.5 at plus 102. What do you think about that, Chris?
That's still live. Especially if Boston scores on this power play.
You're going to get the net empty for the Islanders.
Yeah, they're going to get an empty net with probably at least 3 minutes left. Trotz isn't going to wait around. He'll pull. I would need to find a way to keep stats on that. Like, who pulls goalies? That's good info to have.
I know there are some that pull the goalie down 3 every game, and not every coach does that. Greg Berube does that. He pulls the goalie down 3 for
Patrick Roy kind of changed the game as far as pulling the goalie early.
Yeah.
When he was coaching with the Avs.
I got to start tracking that.
Yes.
Chesser got on the screen here, his comment.
Yeah, this happened too before once. His comment was on the screen.
He's famous.
I remember.
That guy's awesome.
Well, here we go. Power play for the Bruins. What an opportunity to maybe put it away if they score.
Plus 140 is still not a bad price with them going on the power play right now.
Exactly. That's the way I saw it, especially with them getting the man advantage. But the power play's been shut out tonight for the Bruins. They've had chances, just haven't put one in. What a save. Varlamov. Rebound. Couldn't corral it, but missed the net. Bruins scrambling. Bruins have it.
I kind of handcuffed. I could double up on Bruins to score next goal and wipe out the Islanders one I have that's still somehow alive. Or I can just kind of just hold pat. So I'm not sure what to do here at this point.
Yeah, I hate when I get end up on both sides, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to just sit here and break even or try and double up somewhere.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I will be betting an over 1.5. I will tell you this right now in minutes if this goal doesn't go in
right now.
I always do that. When it's a 1-goal game with 4 or 5 minutes left, I'll hammer the over whatever, 1.5, in this case, 1.5, and just hope we either get a tying goal or an empty net goal. I've just waited out till I get as close to even money as possible. I won't always get even money or a plus price, but as close to it as possible.
Yeah, 186, minus 186 right now.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for a little bit.
Is my TV too loud for you guys? Can you hear it?
No, it's good, Dylan. You're good.
The third period for the Islanders. The only reason why they are sitting
Now it is.
When nobody talks.
I'm just invested in this power play right now.
I know. Did that stay in? It did. Wow. Barely.
and he has stopped every single one of them. Certainly their best penalty killer tonight.
That was close.
What are the fans screaming about?
Well, they thought that was offside there. It came out over the line. Last back to the line here. Bruins having chances, but a lot of wide shots. Varlamov good. Varlamov's been really good tonight.
Yeah, he is.
Missed the net. Holy shit. Lots of shots, but not a whole lot of results here for the Bruins. Now they finally clear.
Go. Short-handed.
Come on.
The Canadian announcer sounds better than
That's John Bartlett. Bartlett Pears, as I like to call him. He's doing the play-by-play.
Sorry, I'll turn it down, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
missed. Great seat.
All right, I'm at over 2 plus 1. Oh wait, no, I over 1.5 now. It just moved to minus 139.
Yeah, it's coming down quick.
37-19 the shots here for the Bruins and tonight. They've played a really good road game, but they're very unfortunate that they've only scored once. They probably should have scored more than this based on what they've gotten, especially in the last two periods. They've had much greater danger chances than they did early in the game.
I'm very surprised with how the Islanders came out with 12,000 fans here. Like,
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I thought for sure this is going to be, a bit more pressure offensively.
Yeah, but they've been.
They lost that first game though at home against Pittsburgh, if I remember. I think it was the first game at home.
Yeah, game 3 of that series. Oh, what a blocked shot there by the Bruins right in front. I think that was Carlo for them has been a blocked shot machine for them. Unbelievable job again by getting in the lane, not letting that puck even get to Tuukka Rask.
This is going to get interesting, I think.
All right, let's see what the total is now. All right, it's down to minus 115. All right, good. Keep on dropping. I want it to drop to even money. Let's get this next TV timeout again, and we'll pounce on over 1.5 here.
Oh,
no.
There it is.
What happened?
Yes!
Wow,
Yeah.
Islanders tie it.
We finally
I waited like a second too long. Fuck.
Oh my gosh! Of
Just
course.
supposed to bet the thing over 1.5.
Islanders to score next goal.
Give me
Yeah,
that
I
draw.
tailed you on that, Alex.
There you go, Alex.
On it.
1-1
Unbelievable.
tie.
Thanks, Alex.
Hey, the draw plus
Wow,
300.
we were so close to locking that. Oh,
The 2 wins I've had tonight have taken way longer than expected to cash, but hey, we'll take
Yes.
it.
And I jumped on
Of all
his draw on
people,
this team,
Barzal.
too.
Oh, nice.
Barzal gets the goal. What a time for him to finally get an
Wow.
offensive a goal going. Just stuffed it
Plus
in. Yeah.
300 for the draw.
Wow. Went in
Yeah,
for-
Barzal. Yeah. Keep working, keep
Nice.
hacking at it. That's the way
Yep.
the way he did it.
Yep.
That building's rocking right now.
Oh, it sure is. Oh, they're going nuts here. Wow, that draw. Oh, good stuff with the draw right there. Yeah, hopefully. I still got 5 minutes.
Hopefully.
The over 2.5 was plus 525 right before that goal.
Wow.
Yes.
Now this is tricky. When it's this tie game, 5 minutes in the third period of a playoff game, you're always thinking caution here for both teams. Not that
Well,
they should.
And we're
Are they
sitting
saying
on
Bruins?
on the draw. So
Oh, they're saying
Okay.
Tuukka.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they're cheering
Riding
Tuukka.
That's such an untypical Barzal goal too. Like, good for him for digging in there.
No, exactly. We're seeing guys, Dylan, he doesn't score those kind of goals a lot, and neither does Taylor Hall. And Taylor Hall scored a couple like that. So give them credit. They got to get those dirty. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, are you watching? Look at, wow, they're buzzing the Islanders. Look, they didn't have much going for them, and now all of a
I
sudden
think they scored.
tie it.
yeah,
Something happened because everything's locked up.
Uh-oh. Boston is a puck, so I hope nothing happens.
I think TV timeout.
Yeah, TV timeout is what it is. Yeah.
I'll be back in a few minutes. That's what the
All
dog
right.
out.
where are you going?
That's let my dog out.
No worries.
There'll
I
be
know what
3
you
goals
Canadians
till you
do
come
in your
back.
spare time. Just kidding. Well, I'm really excited because I have the draw here. So if that hits,
Yeah, looking so
What's
far
up,
so
Adam?
good.
I think I lost 6 bets in a row, so that could be my run.
Earlier, parlayed both the games go to OT.
Yep.
Ian, you should probably pull the comment down. We can get the screen back to the normal size.
Did I? Yeah, that's right. I clicked that by accident. Just realizing that now. Yeah. Wait a minute. That's a few minutes ago. There we go. Click it.
There we go.
I'm
All
good
right,
here
there
as
we
long
go.
as Boston doesn't score, right? Because I have
Yeah.
the draw. I bet the draw. I have the Islanders pregame money line. My
Islanders
line
to score. Islanders to score next goal in regulation is a plus 1,000 right now, or at least it was, and now it just
Wow.
vanished.
Yeah,
that was
everything
there
vanished
for
from me.
there for a second. So I think that
Yeah.
might have been a mistake because they just locked everything down as soon as I said that. So
Yeah.
I swear, Bet Online's watching me.
Always feel like somebody's watching me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mine's locked too, so you're.
Yeah, we're all locked
That's
up.
funny.
Okay.
That's
All
usually
right, I'm
the
getting
case.
another drink while this
Yeah.
intermission's going on. I will be back in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll hold down the
Imagine
fort.
if we get 2 overtimes tonight too.
Yes,
Yeah.
tonight. It'll be a late night after all. All right, I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, still got a half bottle of champagne. So I'm on.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a beer.
Sturdy and solid. Yeah. Good time to refresh the drinks.
The bathroom and getting up from his chair.
Yeah, this crowd's getting loud.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta think if this goes to OT, this is all Islanders. It's kind of like last night. The
Yeah.
second that game went to overtime, I'm thinking this is all Avs.
Uh-oh, we got Isles breakaway
Uh-oh.
and a rash save.
Islander.
Man, you're way ahead. Of me
How are you
too,
so
Al.
ahead of me?
I got cable.
I do too.
So do I. I'm on NBC Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same man.
Huh.
You're
Are you on
wired in
HD?
direct.
No, standard definition.
Huh.
Shit, for $190 a month, that better be ahead of everything.
Seriously, it's like only going up. You want the funny thing though about Comcast? I think I said this on the first Betcast. Is I had like the free week trial of the Hockey Center Ice, like when I think in January, right when the season started.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I had it for the whole entire season, and I kept checking my bill to think like, oh, maybe I accidentally. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had it the whole season.
That's
so.
happened to me before in previous years with baseball and hockey. Or I paid for hockey and then they gave me baseball free for the whole year. But then all of a sudden they made this whole thing where if you don't have HD, you can't get it. Or like the X1 package or whatever. And this was the night. This was 2 years ago. So it was on opening night. And I'm on the phone. I am screaming at the people on Comcast. And I also have to do a online show. I had to do You Better You Bet when they first started. And so I'm literally sweat. I get on there and it's a video and I'm sweating and they go, hey, how's it going? I'm like, great. I'm so happy to talk to you guys because I just got off the phone literally cussing out everybody that worked at Comcast for an hour telling me that I can't get the hockey package unless I upgrade my cable. So yeah, it's a mess. Ian's got it on lock. Ian's got the I forget what it's called, the package thing, and he's got the internet, and it's pretty much, it's like a Russian feed, but it's like clean and legit, and so.
Russians.
Oh yeah, well, that's how I watch any UFC or boxing. I haven't paid for a boxing pay-per-view since the Mayweather Pacquiao. I watch all of it from a Russian feed.
I got a few websites.
I use an online free online stream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay all that money for the NHL games.
Yeah,
No.
we pay them enough, seriously.
Yeah.
But it was cool because you get to hear all the different announcers across the league. So
Yeah, well, that's
like
good and bad depending on who you listen to. If it's
True.
10 o'clock on a Saturday night, and you got money on San Jose, and all of a sudden you're hearing Randy Hahn with his game show voice, it's the absolute worst.
I tried to avoid those West Coast games.
Oh,
Like
that's brutal.
it was just the Kings this year, like avoid Sharks, avoid Coyotes, avoid.
Coyotes
Avs are
beats
probably
pretty
the
good.
only team that I liked.
Yeah.
I love their announcers. I think they do a good job.
I just bet all those West Coast teams in the first period, and then I can shut it off.
Then you could go to bed. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the kind of the plus of those teams were crushing it in the first period over for most of the season too. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas cash a first 10 in 13 seconds. You're like, all right, cool.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
there we go.
Chris, who is the best team with cashing in the first 10 right now? Is it the Avs?
The left in the playoffs?
Yeah, might as well do left in the playoffs.
Okay, left in the playoffs. It is Vegas is still the best at the first 10. They're 63% for the year. Next is Colorado at 56.4, and then Tampa at 56.2.
Which tells you what, and it's happened in both of the first two games of that Vegas-Colorado series, a goal in the first 10 minutes. I think you just got to stick right to it tomorrow night.
Yep, I'm staying with that.
Yep, game 3 in Vegas. And look, Vegas has to open up quickly, get good vibes, good confidence early in that game. They got to get after it, and
they've always been really good with that prop at home as well.
Yeah. I actually lean Vegas first period tomorrow night, much like I feel about Carolina tonight. I mean, these teams that are down 0-2 in game 3, they need to just go nuts early in the game and really, really try to get a good start, because they can't afford to lose it. So I'm interested in Vegas at a plus price first period tomorrow night.
Vegas.
Penalty to Boston. Cross-checking.
What happened? Oh, I thought you were going to say they scored.
No.
Fucking kidding me is what he's asking as he's going to the box here.
Bruins are trying because they got a penalty. Shocking.
Oh, he's pissed.
Yep. Not happy.
That
I
Vegas
wish I could hear Jack Edwards right now. He's probably
that Vegas
Sean Corrali's getting it. Not happy about it either. Well, guess what? It is a cross-check. It is. Let's see. It's a butt cross-check, not a back cross-check, but it's still a cross-check. Cross-check's a cross-check. Doesn't matter if you hit him in the head, the back, the butt, the ass, the foot, the leg, whatever. It's a cross-check.
And here comes the crowd.
Yeah,
I can't win Bruins team total. See, this is what I'm happy. I'm going to lose the Bruins team total over 2.5 because even if they win in overtime, they're only going to get to 2. But at least I don't have to sweat the minus 150. Could you imagine if you had the Bruins money line now minus 150? That's why I didn't want any part of that.
No,
it's awful. That's why the Jets yesterday, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me that I laid so much juice on that. Sometimes
there he is, turns his back.
And also, it's frustrating to bet them in regulation. Here we are. I think we were saying maybe let's bet them on the puck line too before Islanders scored.
So the Islanders have a chance basically to screw our draw essentially right here.
Well,
so that's
not.
They're at plus 104 right now on the money line. I feel like I want to grab them in if this goes to overtime because I like
that. Would be a disaster because I'm going to lose the full game over. We're going to lose Bruins team total. The draw is the one thing we're clinging to right now in this game.
You need that draw. Give me that juice.
They're passing it around. Islanders in the zone. Minute 18 left in the period. A minute in the power play. Islanders trying to stuff it in. Cleared but not out. Leddy fakes the shot. Blocked. Another chance. Wide. Wow. Right in the slot, and he shot it over the top of the net. 1 minute to go in the third. 48 seconds in the power play. Islanders working it around. Bailey's out on the ice. Nelson. And it's out. Cleared down the ice by the Bruins. Big clear there. 40 seconds left in the power play. 52 in the period. They're going to have to regroup. Barzal, Beauvillier, Eberle, Dobson starting the rush up from the blue line. Pass over. Eberle after it. Marchand on him. Clears it to the line. Not out. Held in there. Dobson at the point. Over to Barzal. Clears it in front of the net. Dubbed the shot. He dubbed the shot. And if he didn't get all of it. If he did, that might have been in. Another pass across behind his man. Looking for Nelson on the other side. Clear to the line. Dobson holds it in. Back around. Beauvillier back to the bottom of the net there. Behind the net. In front. There's a shot. Blocked in front. What a shot block that was. Back into the boards. 5 seconds left in the period. Bruins just got to eat the puck. That's all you got to do. It's along the boards. Islanders aren't going to get another chance. It's cleared out. Nice. We're going to overtime. The draw cashes.
Yes!
Thank you, Ian.
Yes.
Cash the draw.
Hey, and me. I did it during the game, Terry.
Oh, sorry, Melissa.
Yeah.
I didn't look at anything pre-game.
This is so exciting. I finally won a bet in the last 2 days.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat, it's only first period for the Knights tomorrow night for me. I'm not betting them to win the game. I just think the first period they come out strong because I don't trust them to beat Colorado over 60 minutes. I don't trust them to beat Colorado over 60 minutes. But I do trust them to be good in the first period.
Yeah, that goal in the first 10 for Vegas for the year, they are 22 and 30 or 22 and 32 for the year on that. So right around 70%.
Wow, very good.
At home.
Yeah, at home. Yep.
So Ian, that leaves you to be able to bet Isles money line then, right?
Yeah, I got some options now. Yeah, I have some options now in terms of what do I do now? Yeah.
Look at Earl Sports Bet says in the chat, the Islanders have not lost an overtime game all year. Or I'm sorry, all playoffs, not year.
That's true.
It's all year.
That's true. They have been wonders in overtime, this Islanders team. Plus 100. Oh, boy, do I go on that? I kept thinking Boston would win this game, but Islanders have a little momentum right now. Varlamov has played very well. I want to see how overtime starts. I'm going to see how it's starting out. Sometimes it's good to bet against the team that's got all the momentum and the chances in overtime. And if they can't bury them, usually it's the other team that comes down, scores, and wins the game.
Hey, Turnsy, White Sox are up 3-1, by the way.
Good. It's one bet I'm going to hit tonight.
There you go.
So I want to know, why are you a Titans fan? Who was your guy that you liked?
I was a Lions fan growing up, and then, I don't know, when I was like 11 years old, I transferred. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Wow.
Who was it,
McNair?
Steve
Who was the
McNair?
quarterback? McNair.
Yeah.
Probably.
It was partly McNair, but I don't know. As a kid, I just liked the symbol, probably. I don't know.
It's always some. You like the logo. Yeah, you like the logo of the team, and said, "Hey, Tennessee
That's
Titans,
so true.
McNair." They were good at the time. The Lions
Yeah.
were not. I think they had Joey Harrington as their quarterback at
Oh,
that
my God.
particular point in time. Yeah, not good.
With a top 10 pick, too.
By the way, they're going to be absolute shit this season. The Detroit Lions. That is a horrid roster. Jared Goff behind a bad O-line. Good luck with
Dog
that.
shit.
I can't wait. I can't wait for their coach's press conference. 'Cause their coach, that first press conference he had was absolutely hysterical. Like I wouldn't be shocked if he only lasts 1 year. To be honest.
He didn't look like he'd ever spoken publicly before. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but he's just like the old school, almost like a Ted Lasso type. Just kind of like we get punching them out, they're gonna punch them right back. Kind of. I'm like, oh, like you clearly haven't watched a Lions game in the last 20 years.
You know what? I'm going to lean Islanders in overtime, but I'm not going to bet them yet. I want to see how it starts at least. But they're plus 100. They're even money in overtime. Boston minus 130 in most spots. That's really all you can bet with the overtime is you can't bet who's going to score. You can only bet which team's going to win.
I like the Rob Pizzola tweet. We need to gather the smartest people on the planet, put them in a room together, and figure out how the Islanders win games.
That's a great tweet.
Well, they did tonight because Boston can't finish their chances, which is unfortunately that's playoff hockey sometimes. Varlamov's good, and the Islanders, found a way to put a tying goal in the net when they had to.
Yep,
that's why. That's why they're in the game. They shouldn't be. I mean, Boston has carried the play tonight, but that's that's the way it goes in playoff hockey. You got to at some point finish all the chances you get, and Boston never did enough of that.
Real quick here in the intermission, who do you think the Kraken take at the second pick?
Well, that's a good question. Because we know Power has gone to the Sabres for sure.
Yeah.
Who do they go with? That's a good. I'd like to see what they do in terms of who do they get from the other teams of the players they leave unprotected.
Yeah,
that's also a good question. Because they're starting from scratch. They're trying to build a team.
Well, I said it on the last Betcast. I heard that Drieger's going there for their goalie.
Oh, from the Panthers, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
They might take Talbot from the Wild.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'm hearing that the Wild don't know if they're going to protect Kakkonen or Talbot.
Huh.
But it would be really dumb to protect Talbot because Kakkonen's young.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, you got to keep Kakkonen.
You can't.
Yeah.
See, I'd probably want them to go with the guy who's that? I'm trying to think of his name. The center ice, Beniers, I think is his name, from Michigan.
I was just going to say, I was waiting for you to say who you would say, but I would go with Beniers.
Yeah.
That's
what I would go with. Like, that's an integral position on the team, center ice.
And when you look at some of the projections, some people have him at like 4 or 5.
Yeah. There's a debate between who can go 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's got Owen Power number 1, but there's a little bit of discrepancy what one person thinks of who should go 2, 3, 4, 5 compared to the next. It's more debate there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo chose someone else. Whoever Kim Pegula loves the most will get chosen. So.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Kim
might not like ours.
There's something wrong with Owen Power, and she'll make that very, very important right decision to say, you know what, we'll draft someone else instead. She better not screw that up.
Doesn't matter who they draft, going to end up being dog shit. So
yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about. I'm not thinking, wow, Owen Power is going to finally turn the Sabres around. I'm worried about, wow, the Sabres are going to poison and pollute this man for the rest of his career. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
I think it'll be cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be cool if New Jersey got a Luke Hughes to have the Hughes brothers playing together, two of them.
Yeah, I can see
cool
them
for
doing
them.
that. I could definitely
If
see
he's
them doing
there.
that.
Hey guys, what do you think of so Pucky in our chat? He's a guy who Chris and I follow, who is, I call him the over-under king because has been killing it lately. He's saying Carolina team total under 2.5 plus 110 if you think Tampa Bay is winning this game. I think that's pretty decent look.
I don't like him saying Tampa Bay's winning this game because I have the money line, but I can't say I feel great about it because Tampa Bay's gradually played better and better as this game's gone on right now, and they are taking the play to Carolina right now. Bothers me quite a bit, actually, the way Carolina's played in this third period. I'm not seeing desperation out of a team down 0-2. They're hanging on a little bit right now. Yeah, like Tampa Bay's done. Tampa Bay's going to sweep these guys if they win tonight, probably.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think their backs are going to be broken if Carolina loses tonight. There's no way, which would be disappointing because I had so much high hopes and expectations for them in this series, and it's just been tough sledding. But we'll see. They got to get some offense generated here. You know, where's Svechnikov, Teravainen, and even Jordan Staal? Those are the guys that got. Who's gotten you a goal tonight? He's answered the bell. Need some other of these top forwards to do the same right now. 2-2 with 12 minutes to go in the third period.
Bruins fans have got to be pretty upset right now.
Yeah, well, they're probably upset. They're probably thinking we should be winning this game. We should have won this game already. We outshot them badly and had more quality chances. Luke, thank you very much. I'm not really following the baseball scores much right now tonight, or much about baseball at all. I'm focusing on the two hockey games and the basketball. I am interested in the basketball tonight because it is two elimination games there in the NBA as well. But yeah, that's good to know that the best Betcast, what was it? Arizona, Milwaukee over the total. Thank you for letting me know. That's good to know. By the way, Luke Murphy is one of those people. I get a million tweets, and he's watching most of the shows. I appreciate the support. That's nice. Thank you.
He's awesome. He said a lot of nice words too to me when I was on the show as a guest.
Yes.
I think he's an author.
Luke, I was going to say we got to bring you on the Betcast one of these times. Let me I know you got. I think you have family and kids or something, but let me know if there's an opportunity and a free night you've got to join us. By all means, do. Yeah, you're an author. I see that. Writing books. That's good. And having success with that. Good stuff.
What's up, Kevin, in the chat? Sorry about the Bruins.
One of my sisters lives in Seattle, and I may force her to go to a game. Oh, Cheshire Cat. Yeah, when the Kraken start there. Yep.
Can't wait to start going to games again.
Yeah.
That definitely.
Yeah.
Alex, next time I'm in Minneapolis, hopefully when I can finally travel again, we're going to a game and you're going to be my client.
Oh yeah, hit me up. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally like 10 minutes away from less than that from Excelsior. I'm right here in downtown St. Paul. So.
Oh, nice. I love that area. It's so fun in the summertime. Wintertime, not so much. But
well, yeah. I love going out in the summer because then there's not that many people out in the winter, or in the winter. I'm saying I like going out in the winter because everybody's all freezing and stuff. I'm like, it's not that bad. You know, suck it up and go out and have a few drinks.
Yeah, and there's probably not as many people in the places at the winter
for sure.
Yeah, people staying home because it's so damn cold. You know, summer it's packed in these places at night. Yeah,
Chester's in Minneapolis too.
Who?
You can come, Chester. He's from Minneapolis as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm downtown St. Paul. Allery's is a spot that's honestly the time to come up, especially if the Bears are playing that same weekend. That's happened before where it's been Hawks and Bears game at the same time. So Allery's is the Bears bar. Do a little
double dipping.
Yeah, yep. And it's literally behind my apartment. Like I can fall down and be home from where Allery's is located.
That's awesome.
So that's the main spot where I drink.
You were at a Wild bar though, right? For watching Game 7, I think you went out.
No, I went to a bar called Scarlet's. It's not really a sports bar. It's kind of just an old timey divey bar. But everybody was in there. It was a lot of older, like old North Star fans, and they were cheering for the Wild and stuff. And it was good to see some people just cheering for games again. Like it was just a fun atmosphere to be around.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what we want to see. It's just the camaraderie. It's being with people that you're all in there for the same reason. You love your team. You love the game. And you're cheering and you're having a good time. You miss those experiences. I mean, everybody's missed them the last year.
Yeah.
I know Ian and Terry are in the same boat as me, but you guys are lucky. We can't even go into Walmart and buy kids' clothes still over here. So
Yeah.
Walmart.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
Sad.
Oh yeah, that's
Only
right. They
essentials.
closed all the WalMarts or something for some reason. I remember reading.
they
some
blocked
article.
off like 80% of the aisles. You can only buy certain things. And
Yeah.
What?
That's awful.
It's
That-
pretty
that-
insane. Yeah. What's happening?
That didn't
on
even
Twitter,
happen at the
yeah.
height of the pandemic here. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. But we're going to actually scale back in a week or two. That's expected. So that's the good news. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm traveling, Kevin. You better believe it. Once this is finally next year, 2022 is going to be the year of the traveling man, Ricky Nelson style for me. Traveling man. I'm going to be going to a bunch of places.
It's funny. I'm
overdue to go back there. California, perhaps. Yep.
I was actually looking at tickets to go into Atlanta for Labor Day weekend because Northern Illinois is playing Georgia Tech, and my buddy, actually for you guys, all of you guys, the guy who records on the podcast the intro, who did our intro, he lives in Atlanta, so I might go and visit him in Atlanta and catch a Northern game, and check out the Coca-Cola Museum and stuff. So I'm thinking about the Magic City, of course.
Intro. He did such a good job with that with Alex B. Smith and Ian Cameron.
Yeah,
and he's a sports writer, Jimmy Murphy. Yeah.
He's a singer. He's a bass tenor singer, and he does choir stuff. And he's the guy who recorded our intro. He does voiceover work as well. So
never seen the intro.
no, it's audio. So if you ever listen to the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Podcast
Yeah.
version of this show. Oh yeah. It's only on that, but yeah. He's it's outstanding.
You
It gets
sound just
everything
like him,
funded.
though, Ian. For a second, I thought that was actually you. I need
Because I've
I
heard
need
it a
this
bunch,
again.
yeah.
Like
And now here's your host, Ian Cameron.
that's exactly what he said.
And he literally did that, and he did it in 3 takes in about 20 minutes. We're literally like texting each other. I'm just like, hey, like, can you hit this and record and email it to me? And then I'm like, wait, I'm like, this one's not good. I'm like, you got to add this part. And he's like, oh, I got it. And I was like, yeah, that's it.
There you go. Yeah.
Easiest production of all time.
Yep. And the podcast downloads, like I'm blown away. We're almost at 13,000. Like it's really amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who's listened and watched and downloaded. It's incredible, honestly. It really is.
And thanks for having us on. It's cool
Of
to
course.
finally see people. I know, Chris, I've been following you for a long time. It's cool
Yeah.
to finally see you in person.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep.
And we really want to build the Betcasts, continuously build them. So
Sure.
if anyone that watches and listens to the Ice Guys and someone that loves hockey and might even have a little interest in the betting side of it, let them know about this show and these Betcasts. And, we really want to make it a big time, event.
It's a good way to learn. It's a good way to learn how to manage these.
Yeah.
That's our goal. Mhm.
I showed all my family when I brought my kid on here with his jersey and everything. They all loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the draw in this Carolina Tampa game as well, plus 200, and I'm sticking with it. I've also got Carolina money line. So basically, at least get me to overtime. If Tampa Bay is going to win in regulation, that's disaster for me in this game. Total disaster because I have draw and I have Carolina money line. Give me one of those, please. And both of them at plus prices, so I profit if one of them cashes. So please, just give me one of them.
Yeah, I grabbed the draw with you there when you bet that.
Yeah, I tailed you on that draw too.
Well,
First
I'm
one
going
went
to
good,
watch
so.
the first minute or two of this Islanders overtime, and then I'm going to hopefully make a move on the Islanders here.
Is it
That's
back?
what I'm planning on doing, believe it or not, is maybe an Islanders. And look, I'm
It's
not
just about to
saying-
start.
Yeah, it's just about to start. They're going to be dropping the puck in OT soon. So still 2-2 with Carolina and Tampa Bay. Again, this is absolutely paramount for Carolina to find a way to win this game. They're done if they don't. By the way, Chris, how gutsy are you? Because I know this is in your wheelhouse. It's 2-2. 7 minutes to go, third period. You see that over 5.5. It's pushing plus 400. I know that's something you've looked at before. Just get me that 3-2 goal. Before the last minute or two, and then someone's going to have to pull the goalie, and you're live all of a sudden with the over 5.5.
Yeah, you got to get the one. I got plus 300 right now on it. So not a play yet, but I don't know. I'm still debating. I've been watching it.
Yeah, but you also want to see that there's chances too. I definitely agree with that. You want to see that both teams are coming close to scoring. If both teams are passive and just looking to play tight and conservative, then you're not as excited about betting that over 5.5.
Yeah, there's no doubt that's a different bet in the regular season than it is in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm seeing plus 370 for that right now.
Yeah, it might have moved. I did it last night in that Colorado game just because that game was up and down and there was chances everywhere. And I mean, how many posts did Vegas hit? I feel like that was a good shot. I don't know that I feel the same way about this game.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. This game looks like it's been a little more cautious. We are underway, by the way. I have to assume there's some people that aren't watching the game, maybe live as we speak, maybe just watching the stream or listening to us. So if that's the case, we'll just let you know that the overtime has started. Bruins and Islanders that are now underway.
And the crowd sounds great.
They are loud. I mean, I wonder with some of these fan bases, not so much the Islanders, but Carolina in particular, Florida. Where were you during the regular season? But that's another story.
Oh, come on, Billy.
Islanders. Oh, that puck just deflected wide on the pass across. Wow, that didn't miss by much. See, the Islanders now, all of a sudden, they feel we could steal this game here because, we were outplayed for the second and the third. Leddy at the point, pass across. Shot, nope, didn't get through. Good positioning by the Bruins. Good active sticks. Good play there. Wow, outstanding.
No penalty?
They're going to clear. Yeah, no penalty. Well, again, you're going to have to basically hack someone with an axe at this point and commit murder on the ice to get a penalty call. That's always the way it is in playoff overtime. Yeah.
Except last night with that slash.
Except that one, yes. It was a penalty, but it's a weak one to call in an overtime. I will say that it was weak. But if you subscribe, like I said on the show today, to a penalty in the first period is a penalty in overtime, then it has to be called because it was slashing the stick out of the guy's hands. All right, Bruins won the faceoff in the offensive zone. I've definitely got both of these games on split screen here, so that's that's what I like about this. I just have the one set in the room here, so I've got the split screen going. Tampa on one half and Boston on the other.
Oh, turnover. Oh.
Wow, what a stop. Snatched it out of the air. Barzal's been good tonight. He scored the one goal. He's been active. This is what the Islander fans were hoping. They've been rough on Barzal in these playoffs that he hasn't done much. Well, he's answered the call tonight. There's a turnover by the Bruins, which you don't see very much from them.
I'm hopping on Islanders money line.
Yeah, they're definitely the better.
I'm on it, Turnsy.
Let's
go.
It makes sense. And then you could see 3 more minutes of them dominating, and Boston comes down. That's the only thing I worry about. And then
stupid turnover.
Yep, that's how the Islanders won. In the last game was.
Yep.
Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm like literally a minute behind you.
Me too.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, this Tampa Carolina game, there's only been 9 shots in the third period. So.
Over 5.5 is now plus 600.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
It's up there. I mean,
I don't know if you're going to get the 3-2 goal before overtime. Not the way I don't know, based on what I'm seeing here so far. Wow, that was just ripped on net, but wide by Adam Pelech from the blue line for the Islanders. He just hammered that.
Oh, Islanders are buzzing. Big time.
Yeah, they are buzzing. I'm going to jump on to that too. Let me grab some of that. Still even money.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the prices in overtime. They won't budge based on who's carrying the play.
Yeah.
They'll stay static.
Maybe 5 cents here or there, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. There's an icing on Boston. Yeah, they're hanging on right now. This is the best offensive surge and forecheck we've seen all night long from this Islanders team because they weren't generating much in the second or the third period. Right now, it's saved by Raskin. It kicks the rebound out, but to the side, which is what you want. If you're going to let a rebound out, you got to, push that puck to the boards area, and he did that there.
Carolina money lines at plus 160. I don't know if anybody's.
Yeah, I know it's going up here. The
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it.
I'm on that under 2.5 that Pucky posted. So Chris, you missed it. Pucky said to hop on under 2.5 at plus 115 on Carolina, so I tagged him.
I did see it right before I left. I had to go put some people to sleep.
All right, Boston's got the puck now.
No,
They scored! Wow.
Who scored?
Bruins in overtime.
That's how that happens.
Oh, look at that goal. What a joke.
I think it was
Oh, of course it's Marsh. Oh,
yeah.
Marsh.
And the Bruins have taken game 3.
They don't
To be honest,
deserve
they
that
deserve
win.
the win based on the 3 periods. But if you're the
No, I
Islanders, you're thinking, wow, we actually finally got our game going and we're taking it to the Bruins. And say that's what happens. I'm worried about that.
Like we've been saying, this feels like a zigzag series. So
yep.
I got eaten alive in this game. I had Islanders to score first. I had the over 5, and I just took Islanders live.
Yeah, I got Islanders live, and I had the first period
draw.
over.
The draw is the only thing I cashed in this game tonight. No. That's it. None of the goals watched it.
Wow.
All those saves he made all night, and then he gives that up.
Yeah,
I know it's unbelievable, right, Chris? Like he's been excellent tonight, Varlamov.
Who scored that?
Marchand. Yeah. Let's see from the boards area. Let's see. Was there a screen? Did it deflect? Let's see. I don't think it did.
I don't think so.
You beat him high short side, right? I think
he was just off his angle. Like that's just a poor angle. It's a great shot. Inside the far post by Marchand, top corner, but you're off your angle, man. Like you got to be more into the center of the net than way over to the near side post like that. If you're Varlamov, he's way over to the near side post. You got to have more center of gravity, so to speak, in the net than that.
Marchand looks like he took some of his teammates' beard hair and just glued it on his face everywhere.
She's so oh my gosh.
There it is, Marchand. But he is a big-time clutch guy.
That was a nice shot.
An overtime winner this year.
His angle was off, but that was a nice shot.
Yeah. Game 2 against Washington, right? Game 2 against Washington. That was the overtime winner. He scored there. Yeah.
He used Pulock as a screen a little bit there. Kind of. Barely.
Yeah. He picked that corner perfectly.
Oh, look at him. He's okay. I'm changing the channel. I can't watch this.
You don't like the Marchand celebrations.
It's funny. Like I literally have a text message from my dad, and he's like, "Stupid big nose." Like that's what he calls me. And my family hates the Bruins, so sorry for anyone who is watching the Bruins. Or who's
I know my
Bruins
friend
fan.
calls him. Whenever he's a Leaf fan, and the Leafs and Bruins have played each other in the years. I remember last year he'd get in scrums, Marchand with the Leafs during the players. He's like, "Get out of there, beak." Yeah. Referencing his nose, obviously.
Right.
That's funny. The Islanders' expected goals there was 2.8. Boston was 1.9. So Islanders carried that play there.
Yeah.
As no doubt. In overtime, that was the first time all night that their forecheck just hemmed Boston in, for much of that game. All right, so we have got one game in the books. Boston, a 2-1 overtime win to take a 2-1 series lead over the Islanders, which is good. Actually, in the long-term grand scheme of things, it's not the worst result for me because I have Boston in 7 and the series to go 7. So we're still on pace for maybe 4-3 Boston. But now we're down to Carolina, Tampa Bay, where it is still 2-2 with 2.5 minutes left in the third period. And we might have overtime once again here. We're hoping. Just whatever. Just don't make this 3-2 Tampa in regulation. That is disaster for yours truly.
Same. I jumped on Carolina money line plus 150.
Yep.
And I have the draw. I tailed you in on the draw. So
yeah, we better at least get the draw if Carolina is in this game. Winning both would be great. Go to overtime and Carolina finds a way to win, but just give me the one at least because they're both plus prices. I profit if Carolina. Whoa, boy! Almost had a chance.
Had a breakaway.
In too deep. 30-23 are the shots, by the way, in favor of Tampa Bay. I'm going to be looking up the stats, the advanced stats for this game when the intermission hits, assuming we have overtime.
Hey, Ian, you got to get Howie Feeling on here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
I
was
was
the
gonna
one
say,
who
I
has
keep
the,
wondering
OT
how we
parlay.
feeling. You are a loyal person. Like, you're here every day in the chat, watching the show. You always retweet all of our links. When I
Yep.
post the Ice Guys link,
I say everything I post, he retweets too. So
He
yeah.
retweets all my.
Let's go, man. Let's get
all
you
the
on the show
charts.
here. Let's get you on the Betcast. If not tonight, one of these nights here. How we feeling? Let's go.
He
He's
says
got
plus
the overtime
1640.
parlay. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to join us. You got to contact me. That's
Oh
what it
my
is.
God.
You got to DM me or Alex or the Ice Guys Twitter to get on this. But if you do, we'll bring you on.
I saw that OT parlay that he posted pre-flop. Oh man, yeah, 1640.
Yeah,
That's nice. That's real nice.
So who's everyone's pick for the Calder Trophy?
I know who's
it's
yours
Kaprizov.
is. Yeah,
It's Kaprizov for sure.
we need
It
to
better
ask.
be.
It should be. I'm not saying that just to make Terry happy.
No,
I'm
it's
saying that
not.
because he should win.
Yeah.
Penalty to Carolina. Wow. Holy shit.
Was that up?
Could you imagine if now there's a minute 8 that I'm
What was
really
that?
going to have to
What is it? I
stretch.
mean, I just saw it
no.
happen, but what is that? Would they call that a slash or a?
Tripping? I think they called it tripping.
Yeah, was it one or the other? But well, that's a weak call. That's a weak call late in the game. Like they're battling for the puck, neck and neck.
Wow.
The stick was in between his two legs.
That's awful. That's awful. Let that go.
You got to let that go.
Because Kaloran almost has a chance to corral the puck and shoot.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's not like a penalty shot situation, but it's like he's got the advantage there.
Oh, Come on, Carolina, just get through this minute 8. Get this thing to OT. That's the key. Yeah.
We need a good penalty kill there.
Brenda Moore's pissed.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Should be
he's
that's
pissed off.
pathetic, that call, to be honest with you. Brutal. Yeah.
Oh, they have 2 power play goals tonight. They're 2 for 2.
Yep.
Good time for a kill.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I just wanted to come and spend a little time with everybody.
All right, Dylan.
All right,
no
sounds
problem.
good.
I think
Take it easy.
it's all good.
to see you.
Thanks for joining us for a bit.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Night, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
you too,
good night.
Dylan. Thanks, buddy. See ya. There he is, the one and only Dylan Turnsey,
Yep.
signing off. Yeah, I mean, this is we're gonna have another Betcast for sure next week. You can write that down for sure. We're gonna determine the date. We'll see where these series are, during the week in terms of how many games are left. Tampa's pressing, cleared in front, 15 seconds. One more clear, Carolina. Let's go here. Back in front. Good passing by Tampa. Blocked in front. Get that thing out. Great save, Mrazek there. 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
What a stop with the
Wow.
glove. Wow.
Why'd they blow the horn? Did you see that?
And,
They blew the goal horn there.
oh, did they?
The smoke
Oh,
shot.
I didn't hear.
Why, I
I
didn't.
got
I just saw it.
excited.
Yeah, they did. A little, settle down there, keyboard warrior. Get back there. The friggin' bullhorn, with the friggin'
Wow. Look at these things.
technotronics there. Yeah. Pyrotechnics, I should say. Yeah. Technotronic. Yeah. You got to move this. Shake that body. Shake that body.
If you do a Betcast next week, maybe I'll be live from Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can join us from Sin City, check in at the sports book you're hanging at. All right, we're
There's
into
the
over.
draw.
Yeah, we're in OT.
Yeah.
It's
Draw
a
cashes plus
Nice.
200.
Yes. Very nice.
So I'm guessing Lightning will be favored. But probably 130, 140.
Do I get greedy and add on here on Carolina? I've already got. I'm not gonna. I've got Carolina full game already, so just stick with it. All right, we have OT number 2 of the night. How about that? Don't tell me it's we picked a bad night for the Betcast. Both games go to overtime. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Howie's pumped.
Yeah, nice call,
rightfully
Howie.
so. That's a great hit.
OT parlay hits. Way to go, Howie feeling. Like I said, Howie feeling. Let's get you on this show. One of these days. Let's go. I agree with that. Yep. Dylan Turner, what a class act, saying to Cheshire Cat, I couldn't write in the chat while I was on the show, but you're awesome. I'm sorry for thinking you were a girl.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
That's okay. Funny. Cheshire Cat screws up too. Not just that, screws up in thinking Melissa's 50. So yeah,
that was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how you think a 50-year-old woman would be watching hockey.
Wow.
But I was in the chat.
Wow.
You didn't see me and think I was 50. Okay. Then I would have killed him.
No.
That's what? You always go low. You always go. It's like high card, low card. You always go low. You can never go high.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's right. When you don't have no clue the age, but you think you might have a beat on it, you got to stick to the 20s and the 30s.
It's an old bar trick. 33. I always stick with 33.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't say 50 or 60.
Even if they are 50, you gotta say, oh yeah, 30, they're like, oh, it's my 45th birthday. It's like, oh yeah, happy 33rd birthday.
Yeah.
Well, I guess people can technically think I am 33 because of my Twitter handle, but it's really because of Dustin Bufflin is why I'm 33.
Oh, okay. Good.
And see, you know what's funny about that? So I originally had a Bufflin 52 jersey.
Yes, I have one too.
Yeah, and it got ruined in a washing machine here. And then I got a 33. And I got a 33 one that didn't fit. It wasn't the proper size. So I traded it to a buddy of mine for a Bo Jackson throwback jersey. And then apparently, like, his dog chewed it. It's like some bad luck with Bufflin jerseys for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got to take a photo with Dustin Bufflin wearing that jersey at the first Hawks convention, and then later on being there, I wander around and I do this thing. They're doing interviewing people. I end up somehow on a commercial for the Hawks.
No way.
That year, yeah, it's still on YouTube. There's a
cool
clip of me randomly clapping wearing a Bufflin jersey, and I got my Hawks hat to the side and stuff. So
that's awesome. That first year convention was so fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was so fun. And then a couple years later, when they started getting good again, it was too many crazies and people waiting outside the Hilton, hoping that they get autographs and crazy fans.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Dustin Bufflin's just dropped off the planet when it comes to hockey.
Yeah, I have no idea.
These days, he's just gone back to do his thing, and we haven't heard. His contract was terminated by the Jets last year, and he's been an unrestricted free agent ever since. He decided he wasn't going to play last season, and he just hasn't. He's basically gone into hibernation, essentially. Nobody knows where he is. Nobody knows what he's doing. If he's going to come back, he's just kept to himself, almost a year or two now.
He has an apartment in Minneapolis. And because he got in trouble for boating while drinking about a few years ago, and then his family lives way up north in Roseau, which is damn near toward the Canadian border. But he's a very private person. Keeps himself. He doesn't even really There's an interview with Duncan Keith there. He talked about he doesn't watch hockey. He only plays hockey. He's not a fan per se of watching other games and other teams.
Their reunion though, he was hilarious on it.
Oh yeah,
he was
he's a funny dude.
He was. I was cracking up so hard.
Yeah. He's a super chill dude, but he likes playing, but he's got other hobbies. He's an avid fisherman, and he likes just chilling and hanging out with people. Hockey's just kind of his job kind of thing. So that's why I guess he just kind of he went to heal up and take time off. I don't know if he'll ever come back, but I'm guessing if he does retire, he would probably sign with the Hawks for a day and retire as a Hawk.
I hope so. That'd be cool if they did that for him. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, Hawks and the Jets is, he was with both the organizations, but I think the Hawks was a little bit more lasting impact for him. Yeah,
and only because of Dale Talon not mailing the fucking RFAs. That's the only reason why he didn't stick around long term, and him and Andrew Ladd and Niemi and all those guys. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So 2-1 Bruins win. In case you're just joining us, that game ended just about 5 minutes ago. Bruins up 2-1 in the series, and now we're just awaiting overtime with Carolina, Tampa Bay 2-2, and this is essentially the series for the Carolina Hurricanes. This is over for them if they don't win here in overtime, and even if they do win, they're still going to be an uphill battle. But 2-1, at least they have a puncher's chance. 3-0, they have no chance. if they fall behind 3-0 to this Lightning team. So this is imperative for the Carolina Hurricanes. I am on them full game. I'm tempted to get greedy because as of right now, it's a slight losing night for me overall. Carolina would push it to closer to a winning night for me. I don't know if it'll get me fully over the threshold, but it'll get me close to even if Carolina wins tonight.
Plus
I'm at a
138.
break-even point.
Yeah.
138.
I've had my first winning night in a while, thanks to Ian and Alex.
Yeah.
Tailing
Glad to hear
it.
it. Glad to hear that.
Terry! See what happens when you come out of retirement?
Yes.
Yeah, I took a break and I thought, Melissa was saying I should come on
Listen,
tonight,
sometimes the best bets you can make are none at all. I've had people yell at me on like an NFL Sunday, like, you didn't bet anything. I'm like, yeah, like there's nothing for me to bet. Like, you can't just bet every single day. You just can't,
Yes. Yep.
That's
100%.
the hardest part when you go to Vegas is like, I feel like you got to have action every day when you're there. So,
oh shit, not for me. Just go hit the bars and the restaurants.
Okay.
It's plenty of other things fill the time. Yeah.
You know what you should go to though, Chris, is the Circa. Have you seen that stadium series that they have outside?
Yeah. So
swim and watch the games while you swim. It's unbelievable.
I'm going down Tuesday morning to meet Mitch and Paul. So.
Oh, okay, nice. There you go.
Very cool.
A bar recommendation if we're going to be on Fremont in that area. I'd check out Hogs and Heifers.
Nice.
That's the bar. Yes. That's the bar I like. Yeah. Ian remembers that.
I remember that. Great memories.
Moonshine. Yeah. $3 moonshine shots. So
nice.
Yeah. Not something I would drink every day, but in special occasions, yes. Hell yes, I'll drink it. Yeah. No question.
Yeah, don't be a degen like me and have a couple of jars in the fridge or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm not going out and getting any home. That's for sure. No, special occasions, yeah. But that was a great place. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Hogs and Heifers. Yeah, I remember that. Now that name definitely.
I'll never forget the look on Martin. I'm drawing a blank on his name. What's Ian, who's our friend, Martin.
Last
name Martin.
Drew Martin.
Drew Martin. Yeah, Drew Martin. The look on his face because we go in there and I order a round of moonshine shots, and like I kind of like because he didn't really know me that well. We just kind of knew each other from online or whatever, and just the look on his face where he just saw me just deadpan, just slam the shot and then chase it with like a half of an MGD. And it's like 2 a.m. and he's like, I think he was like really kind of rethinking his life for a moment, being like, oh my God, like what have I gotten myself into right now? Like,
holy shit. I remember that. That was you, me, that was Drew Martin, it was Joe D'Amico.
Yeah. Because Joe D'Amico, he looks at me, he goes, Alex, you're going to love this place. This is the first thing he says before you walk in. I'm like, oh hell yeah. It's like a biker bar, basically. You got like, it's like Coyote Ugly on steroids, basically. Like this bar was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The music's loud. They got the bartenders and the girls on the table dancing
on the bar and stuff. Yeah,
movies. Yeah,
wonderful time.
Yeah,
can't wait to go back there soon.
Yeah, it was a good place. There's a lot of good spots right on Fremont. Like Fremont Street is the place to be in Las Vegas.
Forget the strip. Go to the strip during the daytime and have dinner at night or whatever. But if you like after 8 o'clock, hit Fremont and tear that up. That's the way to go.
That's where the party's at. Jagged Edge. That's where the party at. Where the party at. Yeah.
And Circa's changed the game.
Yeah.
There. Oh hell yeah. That Circa, and they got it's just the 3-level sports book. They've got like some great restaurants I've heard there too. Like all the restaurants have gotten like at least 4 or 5 star reviews so far. So
Matthew Green in the chat asking, can we get your thoughts, Ian, for the next game in Vegas? And is there any value in Vegas series win plus 600? Yeah, there's value in it, but I'm not going to bet for value. I'm going to bet for also I think they can win. And I don't think they can win this series, the Vegas Golden Knights. That's just me. I was on Colorado minus 1.5 games at even money before the series began. And look, Colorado didn't even play their best game. Vegas took it to them in the final 2 periods. And yet somehow Colorado still won that game last night. So, yeah, there's value, but I'm not betting it because for simple reason, I don't think they win the series.
Before the series, I was looking to bet Vegas game 3 for sure. I was like, okay, they'll probably take their lumps on the road and then come back home and win. But I might only bet them in the first period. I think this series might be a burrito. It seems like it's a wrap for Colorado.
I think it's first period tomorrow, and then you're potentially looking at live overs because Vegas is going to have to really push the issue if they get behind.
For sure.
Yeah. I like
They're
first
not even
period
at even
Vegas
money.
tomorrow night.
They're at minus 103 tomorrow too. Like, at least get some plus value there.
We got shop around. I'm sure that this should be some plus value somewhere.
Just looking now.
I see them at plus 100.
Yeah.
Montreal's plus 100 as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I got Vegas plus 100. But I see Montreal plus 103. So
okay.
Keep in mind too. Keep in mind this: you could always go Vegas minus a half goal plus 220 if you don't like the even money. See if Vegas can get the lead. After I would go with that because look, think about it. I mean, if you're going to take Vegas minus 105, minus 110, you could only push, but. Why don't you try for the minus a half and try that plus 220? That's what I probably do if I like Vegas tomorrow. I might just go for the puck line instead at that plus 220 price.
The first 10 is only minus 136.
Really?
So I'll be on that. Goal in the first 10.
Yeah. So there you go. Goal in the first 10 minutes. And as Chris said, there's two teams that have been the best in terms of goal in the first 10 minutes of a hockey game this year, Vegas and Colorado. And guess what? They're playing each other. And the first two games of this series both had a goal in the first 10 minutes. That
first period is probably going to be hovering around even money.
It's 108, minus 108 over 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait 2 minutes on that.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I mean, it's dangerous. Don't wait too long because they are probably going to score in the
first. I probably wouldn't wait and get. I mean, if it's at now, then it'll probably be close to even money in the morning. At widely available books. So.
Yeah. If minus 115 is what you're looking at for first period over tomorrow night. Vegas.
Yeah, that would be the threshold on top for sure. So.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm seeing this commercial here. Sportsnet in June is showing this Ryan Kessler thing where he's at his house and he's got some kind of competition or tournament. And he's got this huge house. He's got like a swimming pool. He's got a huge backyard. He's got like a friggin' field hockey place. He's got an actual place where you can play like hockey, like street hockey type of rink. He's got right in his backyard. I mean, he's obviously got a huge mansion. And I think it's just we want to show off Ryan Kessler's digs more than let's do a show at his place here, hosted by him on Sportsnet. Kess's house. That's the name of it. Kess House. Yeah.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah. And it's on Sportsnet starting June 5th. Like, welcome to my home. We'll have to wait and see. Yep. Sports people go to Ryan Kessler's mansion to play various sports and entertainment games in his place. So
for this Carolina Tampa game here, if you like Carolina, Tampa's on the power play. What do they got, about 45 seconds left?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, so that number's going to change. It's plus 143 right now on Carolina. If you like them and think they can kill off those 45 seconds, I would bet that now because once they kill it, that's probably going to drop. It's not going to go to even, but it'll go down for sure.
Right.
I agree with that. By the way, for you guys following the NBA playoffs as well tonight, the Denver Nuggets have moved on. They have eliminated the Portland Trailblazers in 6 games. They came back in the fourth quarter from a deficit to a win, and they have sent Portland home, and Denver's off to the second round.
Clyde Drexler's not walking through that door.
Yeah, let's get the Patino game out. Clyde Drexler not walking through that door.
I love that. That's one of the best things. Shout out to Amin Al-Hassan for starting that with the NBA, and then I kind of picked that up for hockey. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you threw it out with the Leafs the other night. Wendell Clark. Yeah. Walking through that door. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Suns have jumped up 9 here right out of the gate.
Really?
The Suns, 14. Oh, I see that now. 14-5 Suns. Yeah.
So if you like the Lakers, you get a better number on the Lakers right now.
Yep.
I can't back that.
It's the Ice Guys show, and look, hockey's our focus. We're on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey's our focus. But in case you don't know, Alex does handicap other sports. So do I. And in fact, I especially with NBA, like I bet a handicap and send out plays for NBA every day. So I'm very much invested and involved in the NBA.
Yeah.
So
I'm super selective when it comes to NBA. I've been like that for maybe several years now, but I was heavy in the NBA back in the day. But it's mostly hockey and then football and then UFC for me. So.
Yeah, and UFC is a sport that I've even started getting involved with more and more the last several months to last year or two, especially. It can be an exciting sport. Like, you got to have the right fight and you just got to hit it right. But some fights can be so disappointing. Yeah, I mean, UFC is to me, it's just so much more exhilarating than boxing right now. You can't even
especially when you got a YouTuber fighting a Hall of Fame, legend.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Does anybody look? Can we stop feeding the beast? We stop paying shit tons of money for these Jake Paul, monstrosities. Yeah. Like, enough already. It's a disgrace.
Everybody's just waiting to see him get knocked out. That's what they're paying for. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I think that's the one thing that they've got people's attention. Because he's actually winning some of these fights. They're actually saying, "Well, we'll keep watching until he gets his ass kicked." But when that happens, there's nowhere to go after that. Once the aura of his invincibility is gone, that's it for it. Yeah.
Yep.
I grabbed a little piece of Carolina at that plus 143.
All right, Chris, I like it. Join me. Yeah, let's get it. I feel good. Someone else is with me riding shotgun here on the on the Carolina Hurricanes, who still have a minute left of this penalty to kill. 52 seconds to be exact.
They're going to kill this off and get some momentum from the kill and then put one in.
Yeah. All right, we are underway, ladies and gents. Overtime, Carolina, Tampa Bay. This is the series, right? This is going to determine if we've got any kind of series left here, because Carolina's got to find a way, and they've got to kill off this penalty. Oh, what a stop, Mrazek on the backhand, right off the hop, first entry into the zone for Tampa, but Carolina clears it. 25 seconds left in the power play. Lightning trying to clear it. Stamkos turns it over. I'll be honest, Stamkos hasn't had a great series so far. Very, not a big impact he's made here so far.
And that line's at plus 123, so that dropped as predicted right away.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can always bank on that, Chris. Whenever the team that doesn't score on the power play, all of a sudden you're going to have a better price to then back. Look at the save by Mrazek there. Tampa came close right at the end of that power play. Great stop. Can Carolina get a clear here is the question. They're not out of trouble yet. Stamkos in his one-time wheelhouse spot at the dot missed the net. Wow. Wow, he couldn't even hit the net there.
If he would have made that after you just called him out, too, that would have been funny.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd have just ended the cast right now.
Pissing on his effort, and he scores right there in overtime. Of a big.
Well, it always happens, right? When you're like, man, this person's playing awful, then they score.
Yeah, then, whoa, all of a sudden he scores. Yeah, that almost happened there. He just missed the net on that one-time blast. So a big survival for Carolina.
Minus 107 now in Carolina.
Yep, there we go. See, there's that adjustment, and it's all about prices. And look at the price. What did you get, Chris, on that?
Plus 143.
Look at that. Wow. Look at the difference. Plus 143 to minus 107. That's a world of difference.
2 minutes.
There's a reason why in the stock market they say you buy the stock when it dips. Buy the dips. That's always a popular term. Look, that's what we do. We buy the dip on Carolina, like Chris did, when they were still killing that penalty. And now look where the price is. That's live betting right there. That's live betting 101. You bet the good prices. You bet at its lowest value point or its best value point. What a stop, Vasilevsky there. A good shot there.
And vice versa. If you liked Tampa, they're 120 now, minus 120. That was what? I didn't even look and see what it was whenever.
It was like 170.
Yeah, 170, 175.
I see 155 for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 124 right now.
Boston Nick, what's up, my friend at Pub Sports Radio? Let's go Bruins. He's a big Bruins fan. Congrats on the win. They're up 2-1 in the series. Look, they deserve to win tonight. Like, other than, the overtime where the Islanders were carrying it, Boston was better than the Islanders most of the night, especially in the second and the third period. So can't really argue that they didn't deserve the W tonight. Speaking of Stamkos, here he is again, trying to get in on the forecheck. Threw it in front, nobody home. And it comes all the way back out to the neutral zone. Edmund recoiling for the Lightning there. I'm telling you what, Tampa Bay's had the majority of the offensive zone time early in this overtime period. See if Carolina can flip it a little bit.
Yeah, 4-0 shots.
Yeah, I'd like to think Tampa Bay will make a mistake with the puck, but they haven't made many in this series so far. Carolina's finally got some time in the zone, but shot doesn't get through. Again, another blocked shot from Tampa Bay. This is a recording. Tampa Bay blocked a shot. They've been doing that a lot this series. Icing Carolina. So big face-off coming up in the defensive zone. Man, this is one of these moments in the series where if you're a fan of the Carolina, especially, you're feeling it right now. You're tight as a drum because you know if you don't win this game, you're done pretty much. Do you hear the TV? I've got the volume up a little more. You don't hear it?
Just a little.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, just a little.
That's all good.
All right.
Only when we're all quiet.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay, so that's good. I can hear it very good, so the fact you can barely hear it's good. All right. Is that a volume where I can hear it and you guys don't? So that's good.
So my volume's been on the whole time. I'm sure no one can hear it. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Going back, I was going to say, going back to that Vegas, I will bet that tonight because that will move tomorrow. That first 10.
The first 10. Okay.
Yeah, that'll move.
Oh, no. Oh.
Big saves by Mrazek.
Wow, what goaltending. Mrazek's been excellent tonight, to be honest.
He's going to have to stay with him.
Yeah.
Of course, for sure.
Yeah.
That was offside. That was totally offside.
What is going
They
on?
didn't call it.
Staring.
That was off. If they score here, that was
Guys
offside.
are
They have to
struggling.
challenge it, but
Yeah.
Like I'm like 99% sure that was offside.
And Tampa.
Wow.
Oh, now a penalty?
penalty coming. Yeah.
Penalty to Tampa.
Wow.
It's going to Kucherov.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, Carolina's
I just grabbed Hurricanes minus $1.10 money line. I just got it in.
Ooh.
Wow.
Are
So you
on
locked
the
that in, Alex,
Carolina,
huh?
Melissa?
Huh?
What's that, Terry?
I said, are you on Carolina? Because if you're on all five of us, are on
I
Carolina.
just not
No,
grabbed it.
I'm
Yeah.
on I took Carolina under 2.5, so kind of on Tampa Bay. I guess I
yeah.
could technically
Yeah.
hedge it if I want. Well,
You
no, I
could.
would have had to do it at the beginning.
No, yeah, but I just grabbed that. I was lucky to get that in time. But Carolina minus $1.10 money line.
There you go. Big face-off win by Jordan Stahl there. Huge. All right, so they get possession. Power play's had a tough time in this series for Carolina. Very tough. They just haven't gotten any production. And the power play was pretty good against Nashville.
It's just hard to get shots through on Tampa.
It just is. It's just 100% right. I've said I feel like I've said it a million times, but it's true. I mean, the blocked shots have been amazing on this Tampa team.
And if you do get it through, probably one of the best goalies in the leagues there. So.
Yep. And they can't even get an entry right now. No. Oh, look out here. Wow, Cirelli. I did have him to score, but I don't know if I...
It's a crazy shot. That shot was deflected, I hope.
Yeah, Carolina, that's a whole minute gone in the power play, and they haven't even had a chance to set up hardly yet.
Who had a shot?
Come on, Marty Natchez. Move into the ozone. Got to net me, Marty Natchez. Come on. Got to get this power play going here. Let's go. Rebound. Oh, good stop on the second chance by Vasilevsky. Marty Natchez has got it now. Hamilton. Jeez, shot it wide. Wow. Yeah, that's better now. Carolina's starting to work it around a little. Get some pressure. He scored.
Yes.
Did he really?
Sebastian Aho, his second of the game.
Wow.
There we go.
Tipped it. What a goal.
Huge.
That
Nice.
is huge.
Kucherov just sitting there in the box. Just
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Good job, Carolina.
That's good.
Oh,
We
good
got-
job pitching at the ref.
very nice.
Look
now
at
we
him
got
pitching at the ref.
series. Now we got a
Gutsy
series.
win for and I had to have it win
Yep.
for Carolina.
I said when the back's against the wall, they responded. Big
All right,
win.
so we cashed the full game. We pushed the first period. We got the draw. This was a profitable game for me.
Yeah, me too. I got
yeah.
Carolina to score first, and then I just grabbed them live. So doing well with that.
I didn't touch
that's
the
what-
overs in this game. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That was a good decision. The full game, I mean, or the first period, because those are what I would have bet, and they both stayed under full game and first period.
Yeah, 3
I think
unders.
you
Let's
guys
see
should
that.
do
Here's the
live.
replay. Look at that one-timer, Aho. Did it hit anything?
Mhm.
No. It was just
Clean
off.
shot.
Vasilevsky got a piece of it, but not enough.
Flip through. Yeah.
Nice.
And there it is. What a time for the Canes power play, which has struggled big time in this series.
Yep.
Finally produce and get the job done. And they did that. Great night for Aho. 2 goals, the overtime winner. Hey, they needed the big guns to step up. They did that tonight. The Finn, Sebastian Aho, gets the job done. By the way, there was someone that's in our chat during the Ice Guys show. He's a Finn. He was going to join us, but he couldn't. He had to pull out at the last second. Something came up, but hopefully he'll be able to join us on a future Betcast. So big win for Carolina, 3-2 in overtime, and now they are back in the series, trailing 2-1. As the I guess the next game for this series is Saturday. I would think it's Saturday. Game 4 between the Lightning and the Hurricanes. But no, it was a great performance by Mrazek too. And
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was sensational.
it's his net again for sure for the next game. That is VELU. That's who that's who I'm talking about, Howie. He was going to join us tonight, but couldn't at the last second. But he is a Finn who watches. He's legitimately from Finland, and he watches our show. And he's a Bruins fan, and he wanted to join us tonight because the Bruins were playing, but couldn't join us for the last second. So unfortunately, but we'll get him back later on. Velu, that's his name. Although his real name, I believe, is Yuso, because that's his Twitter name, Yuso on Twitter. So that was hoping to have him on, but next time we'll bring him on the Betcast. But huge win for Carolina tonight.
Yeah.
Big win for them tonight to make this a series again. They still got an uphill battle, no question, but at least now they have a puncher's chance in this series, which is good because I took them plus 220. I thought, that bet might go to waste completely, if they don't win tonight. That would have been a problem.
Right, for sure. Yeah, same here. So.
All right, we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes. It was a great night. The games during the game, there were lulls in both games. But there wasn't a whole lot going on, but you got excitement and drama at the end, both games, with them both going overtime. So you can't complain about that. Boston game didn't go too well for me, but the Carolina game was much better. We had the draw. We had Carolina in the full game. We did get Aho, goal scorer prop to cash. I kept the goal scorer props bets pretty small, so that game turned out well. Not so much the Boston game, but Bruins up 2-1, and also the Lightning now, their lead in the series down to 2-1. So we'll go around the horn. We give everybody, a last chance to say some few last final thoughts, final words. Chris Otto, we'll start with you, the guy that's headed to Vegas. Hope you have a great trip to Las Vegas. Looking forward to it. I'm sure you are.
Yes.
Just some final words, final thoughts. Happy to have you come back anytime. Anytime you're around and you're available and want to join us on the Betcast, please do.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on, and I'll be putting the updated chart up here in a few minutes.
There you go. And yet, follow him on Twitter at PSU Auto.
Yes, absolutely.
By all means, because he's got the totals charts updated every single day. And say hello to Mitch and Paul for me, too, from VC.
I will.
For sure.
I've been on their show a few times. So
tell him Alex B says hello as well. So
Ian Cameron, they'll know who Ian Cameron and Alex B are for sure.
Yeah.
But good to see you, Chris. Have fun in Vegas. I'm sure you will. Terry Edelman, I know, and that's what I love about Terry Edelman. He's a huge Minnesota Wild fan, but he's on this Betcast tonight. Why? Because he's a hockey fan. There are some people that are Leaf fans that say I couldn't care less about the rest of the playoffs now that the Leafs are out. I'm so aggravated and angry by that sentiment. You're supposed to be a hockey fan. You're supposed to be a fan of the sport. You're supposed to still be interested and, curious at least who's going to win the rest of the way. But no, your team's out and you just go away and crawl into a little hole and just don't do anything and don't say anything. To heck with you. You go there then. You should be watching the playoffs. You're supposed to be a hockey fan of the sport, and you're a Leaf fan and that's all you are. You're just a front runner Leaf fan. You're on them when they're good. They're bad. I'm so depressed I can't watch any more hockey. You know how weak you have to be mentally to have that kind of thought process going through your mind. You're supposed to be a fan of the sport. Watch the rest of the playoffs. Be a real fan of the sport. There's my rant. So there's a little late night rant for you. I had to have one rant tonight on the show. I feel like I've been angry a lot lately, but maybe that's not a good thing. We got to calm that blood pressure down. Just annoying to me. Like, it's annoying to me that there's fans of a team and not fans of the overall sport, where when their team isn't playing or their team's been knocked out, they don't give two shits about the sport the rest of the season. That I don't like that. You're supposed to be a fan of the game, of the sport. I know you love your team, but you don't care who's going to win the Stanley Cup in the next month. That doesn't interest you or excite you one bit. I can't get down with that. I'm sorry. But Terry's not like that. Terry's here tonight, even though his Wilder out, because he loves hockey. Right, Terry?
Well, I'm kind of in the middle there. So I don't care.
Yeah, but you're still watching.
Yeah,
I'm talking about people that aren't even watching. Like, they don't even care anymore about the rest of the playoffs. That's not you.
No, I'll be cheering against Vegas and Colorado. Yeah. So whoever plays either one of those, I'll be cheering for them going forward. It was a good night, 4-1 night. Thanks to you guys.
Congrats,
guys. Keep these Betcasts coming. And I don't think I'm going to be full time like I was prior to while getting eliminated. I'm not going to bet every day, but pick my spots, and
that's right. Yep.
That's how it goes.
I've got to learn that too, because look, it's difficult. Like, we're down to like the last 8 teams. There's only 4 series. There's only going to be 2 series after this round. And lines are tough to beat, and these series are tight. Nothing's going to be an easy bet or an easy opinion these days. So, it's not always the worst decision, Terry, to say, you know what, take a day off, or if you don't love something, don't just bet it for the sake of it. Take that day off and go from there. Melissa Cunningham, you're a gem. We appreciate it. We thank you for joining us. You've been on multiple Betcasts. Final thoughts from you. How did the night end up for you? And overall, just put a bow on the night for us.
Yeah, I went well with the draw. I wish I saw Howie's tag earlier, because that double draw overtime parlay sounds pretty awesome to me. But it was nice to finally get a win on the board. I will probably be on the Knights tomorrow. I like them in that position, especially at home. Exactly, since they're in a must-win situation. And I do think that if you watched the game yesterday, they outplayed them in the second and the third period there. So I'll be on the Knights. Not too sure yet if I feel like backing the Jets again, because they just let me down. So I honestly feel like I do better betting live with these playoffs than I do betting sides pre-game. So I think it's great you guys have this show to just kind of, because some people don't even really know that you can bet live, or they may not necessarily do that angle. So I think that's really cool that you guys had us on tonight to follow your picks, and I always have fun being on here, so thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to educate a little bit, and more than anything, just hang out with people that love hockey and love betting hockey, and want to have some fun, want to have a few drinks as well. That's always important as well, and lend credence to people to the fact that you can win and profit with sound strategies for in-game betting and live betting. You absolutely can, especially if you're watching the games like we're all doing tonight, and you get a sense of the flow and the momentum swings that happen during a game, and you can capitalize on those without a doubt. And that's what we're here to try to help people with. No question about that, and prove that you can't have that. I hate hammering him again, because he is a nice guy, and I believe Alex when he says that. Sean Shapiro, don't have that mentality that you can't win with live betting. He is a nice guy.
He is.
Just overall, you can have sound strategies that can profit for you. Live betting, NHL hockey. All right, Alex, you're going to have the last word tonight before we wrap it up here.
Yeah, I mean, a wonderful night. Like I said, these games are going to get tougher and tougher to bet as we go on. That's how it works in any playoff scenario, but especially with the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it was good to see Carolina, get that win, especially for me and Ian. We both have Carolina series prices, but like I said, chipping away at the live wagers. That's really the way to attack this from here on out. And Melissa, you made a mention of that, and that's how I've been doing the last 2 or 3 years as far as the playoffs go. I'll have less and less pregame bets, and I'll have more in-game wagering moving forward, because it's just it's read and react. at this point. That's how the teams are approaching it, and that's how, as bettors, we need to kind of approach it more or less. So, you'll be able to catch some things, some better prices pre-game, but for the most part, especially when you start talking about the sides and totals, in-game is the way to go. So, I'm grateful that we have this platform to, share with all of you guys and hopefully help you guys win some money and give you guys a platform to have a strategy to map out night in and night out during the playoffs.
Exactly. And we will be back next week for sure with another Betcast. The date to be determined. We will announce that as soon as we decide upon it. We're going to have at least one a week. We might even do a couple a week during the finals in particular.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think the weekend, I try to keep away from doing a Betcast on a Saturday or Sunday because there's a lot of people. Like, it's a weekend. There's family stuff. There's people busy with things. People have kids. And the weekend's usually when you're doing stuff with family and all that. So, but during the week, usually they have Monday and Thursday Stanley Cup Finals games. We might do Monday and Thursday Betcasts during the Stanley Cup Finals. So we're looking forward to that for sure. Thanks to everyone for joining us in the chat, by the way. Kevin, how we feeling? The ones that didn't join us on the stream, but Craig, Matthew Green, Luke Murphy, all of you guys, Jay Stone. Go on down the list. Cheshire Cat was with us for a bit. Derek, Matthew, everyone, thanks for joining us in the chat. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to
last toast. Huh?
One last toast. Let's do that. One last drink. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Fun night of hockey. 2 overtime games. From an entertainment standpoint, can't ask for more than that.
Crazy.
Cheers. Yeah, absolutely. A little drink for the road. A little cheers for the road. Thanks to Terry. Thanks to Melissa. Thanks to Chris. It was great seeing Chris for the first time.
Yeah, thank you guys.
On the Betcast. We had Turnsey on earlier. Thanks to him. Cheshire Cat stopped in for a bit as well. Thanks for joining us on the stream. We're going to call it. That's a wrap. We're going to call it a night. Join us tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, for a Friday edition of the Ice Guys. We'll get you ready for Game 2 of Montreal, Winnipeg, and Game 3 of Colorado and Vegas. We'll preview both games tomorrow on the Friday edition of the Ice Guys and give you our thoughts and our betting opinions, as we always do. For Terry Edelman, Melissa Cunningham, Chris Otto, Alex B. Smith, I'm Ian Cameron. That's a wrap for the third Ice Guys Betcast. We will be back next week with another one. Make sure you join us tomorrow for another edition of the Ice Guys presented by the Hockey Podcast Network.